Well, Gamescom Day 2 is here, and we will be covering the Xbox Gamescom Day 2 schedule, where they're going to be talking about Star Wars Galactic Racer, Planet Zoo, Flight Sim. I'm trying to read it right here. I'll just put it on the screen for you. A lot of things coming. If you want to skip ahead by 24 minutes because you're watching this later, you will be able to get right to the show. Now, if you're also looking for my thoughts on the GTA 6 extended look, good news, they've officially announced we will be able to live stream react to it. So that will be on the channel. That'll be here. You can watch my live reaction to it. If you miss it, you will also be able to then see my thoughts and what I think, and I may even do a separate upload as well. Thank you to everybody who jumped on the upload last night, a video about kind of like the new features that we got from the GTA 6 Dazed interview that they did with the magazine, talking about the realism of the game and the different things that are going to be in it with respect to the content loop. So make sure and watch that if you missed it, and we will be reacting live to the actual the Netflix extended look when it takes place. I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to do that. They officially made some kind of announcement, and it seemed a little generic, and we weren't really sure, and then they clarified you can live react as soon as it happens. They just don't want people doing restreams or just straight-up re-uploads of the presentation. They would like it to be transformative, which we will certainly do. It's something that we do here all of the time with live events. So if you guys are enjoying having all this extra coverage and all this extra content, consider supporting the channel with a membership or a sub on Twitch. That is how I do this full time. So if you click join, it's $5 a month. If you're on Twitch, you can hit sub. If you're already paying for Amazon Prime, you can use it on my Twitch channel, and that does support me. So thank you to everybody who does that. Right now, best way to support, if you can't do that, would be to just hit the like button and get the chat going. So big day, lots of things to cover. I already saw you guys kind of in the chat discussing the disc to digital thing that Xbox officially announced yesterday, and I think it's a great thing. I made a tweet and I said, your move, PlayStation. How are you going to honor people's existing physical libraries? Now, many people misunderstood what I was saying. I was basically saying PlayStation announced we're going to a digital-only future. Xbox just sort of confirmed their own digital future, but they're giving you a way of preserving your physical collections. Now, we don't know how far that's going to reach. Is it going to reach all the way back to every single disc that you own? It can get a little bit complicated because of the terms of service on certain games might not be able to be rewritten. One of the reasons you can't cloud stream every single game is because the company that make the game, they have to agree to that. The EULA, the End User License Agreement, needs to have a clause in there for you to be able to cloud stream it. So I think there's going to be probably similar legal battles and hurdles for games being converted into a digital license. Obviously, you would then still have to keep the disc, though. You can't just like give the disc to another person, because then that would make your license null and void the minute they play it or use it or try to also do disc to digital. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody out there. Make sure you're going through the ritual of hitting the like button. We got a full day ahead of us. We got Gamescom Day 2, Xbox starting up here in about 20 minutes. Sony just made it easy for me. Gaming ends January 2028. I mean, if that's all it takes for you to abandon gaming, I mean, I just feel like we have very different views of it. I mean, Steam is one of the most successful platforms out there, and it's a digital-only platform. And I understand people being frustrated. I don't necessarily understand the almost like apocalyptic view of this. Did you see the other gameplay video? I saw snippets of it, and there's a big discussion going on Twitter about the combat in Fable. And Thomas Mahler from Moon Studios weighed in and basically said there are just fundamentals of combat that are absent from the footage. And it's interesting because we just had like a really, really strong reaction to a super short clip of Wolverine. A super short clip of Wolverine like fighting a Sentinel. DK Baker's going to start things off. Oh, whoops, hang on. I forgot to get my members thing open and ready to go. So, Han shot first, and so did you. First gifted member of the day. Thank you so much. So, there was a lot of almost like a visceral reaction to Wolverine fighting, a big stationary boss. I think you'd be hard pressed to watch like all of the rest of the Wolverine combat and have any actual criticisms. Like, the combat looks really good, really fluid, really responsive. It looks like it's been built by a team that is proficient at building really good action games. Fable doesn't look like that. Fable looks very rough. It looks very rigid and stiff. Now, I gave them full marks yesterday. I said, it looks better every time we see it, so I'm hopeful that means when the game finally lands, the combat will be in a category of good. I don't think they're going to get the combat to an excellent level. I don't think you would compare it to something like a Tsushima or a God of War or a Spider-Man or a Wolverine. Those are from studios with a high degree of pedigree and experience in building action games. And we know that Playground, not only are they forging completely new ground with the Forza Tech engine, it's not something that they're experienced in, okay? So my hope is that they get the combat to a good place. I don't think it'll be the centerpiece. I don't think it'll be considered an excellent, action combat system. If they can get it to a good place, it'll do its job. It'll be a part of a game where part of the RPG experience is that you can go and get into fights and do different things. So, yeah, more like AA combat. Right. I've played plenty of indie and AA games, and it kind of looks like it's landing in that category. I've always resold my games. It's how I afford them. If you think all that's funny, then laugh it up. I don't think anybody is necessarily laughing at your commercial habits as a consumer. I think it's the apocalyptic sort of language, like gaming is over for me, in January of 2028. I guess my question would be, like, how much do you really love gaming if that's all it takes? If, like, your spending habits dictate whether or not you can continue. Like, sure, you can't resell them, but you still couldn't buy games on a regular basis digital. Like, are you always floating some sort of balance perpetually for forever? I would assume no, since you don't get full price when you trade in a game. You get a partial amount, which means you're still having some measure of outgo. Did you watch the Gears of War 50-minute campaign gameplay? I watched it, the run specifically by Extra Father. IGN sucked. That's typical. Their gameplay is usually pretty bad. And it was absolutely insane and cinematic. All that I've seen of the campaign, I think looks really, really good. I'm excited for Gears of War E-Day. I think the campaign looks great. What they showed yesterday with the weapons and stuff, I was like, that actually looks really fun. It looks like it's faithful to Gears, but it does look like they spiced up the movement and the weapon pool. Guys, as you're coming in for day 2 of Gamescom, the Xbox day 2 will be starting in about 15 minutes. We will be doing a waiting room for the GTA 6 extended look, and they have formally announced we can live stream react to the GTA 6 extended look. So make sure that you guys are here for that. We will be doing that right here live on the channel. So make sure that you're subscribed, you got notifications on, and all of the rest. Sethians, thank you so much for 17 months and using your Prime sub on Twitch. I appreciate that very, very much. And Wired Rope is going to kick the day off with a big member bomb of 10 and gets us to 219. He's kicking the day off. Guys, these are great days for member trains. We could go for another big stretch goal this week. Madam and I could play something with you guys on Saturday night. Probably not the big walk. We kind of got stuck in that, and I think people lost interest after the first week, but there's always plenty of games we can play together. Jackbox, Fall Guys, Fortnite. Playing those games with you guys and with Madam can tend to be pretty funny. So make sure you're doing your renewals as well. Live stream and react to Netflix showing or the YouTube one later tonight. I will be able to live react as soon as it hits on Netflix. They've officially announced that on Twitter. I personally think it was going to be a logistical nightmare for them to try to put a stop to it. So they just said, well, let people react, because doing 6 hours of content ID matching and blocking on YouTube was probably going to be a nightmare. I wouldn't even be surprised if YouTube weighed in and said, you guys are going to hurt our website. Like, if we're having to have that loaded ahead of time, it's like 26 minutes according to Netflix, a 26-minute video, content ID matching, millions upon millions of people trying to upload it as soon as it's available, and them trying to put a stop to it, it was probably going to be a logistical nightmare. And they were like, why even bother? Just take the free advertisement is probably what their attitude was. Did you make sure your browser is set up for Netflix to work? Oh, like my capture card? Yeah, I didn't think about that. We're going to have to think about how I'm able to do that, because that might disable the capture card. I need to disable HDCP on the cap card. I might need to do that in the firmware. Let's see here. Aver Media. I think I've got the... well, I thought I had the app on here. Where in the world is it? Let's see. Search for apps or whatever. I thought I had the Aver Media firmware stuff on here. I don't know where it went. I'll have to try to find that to disable the HDCP, because it can 100% disable. I think it's Assist Central Pro right here. It'll disable the stinking cap card. Yeah, here we go. Multi-channel enable HDCP. Please turn off HDCP on. HDCP detection is disabled. I have it disabled. So we should be good. Disabled on that one. Disabled on that one. Disabled on that one. I think that's the only card currently operating. I have it disabled on all of the cards now, so we should be good. It shouldn't do any HDCP detection to enable us to do it. So, yeah. Who enables that even? It's enabled by default, you know. Apologies if you've already addressed this. What are your thoughts on the Xbox disc to digital program? I think it's a good thing. I think it's something that needs to happen for people who have a physical collection. But I don't know if PlayStation's going to respond with their own system. I think Jez Corden of Windows Central literally did an article about how the entire infrastructure that builds the disc readers is collapsing. And I just don't think people understood that when everybody made this PlayStation's evil, when they made their announcement. And it's guys, if you look into this at any degree of analysis that goes beyond emotion, this was going to happen. The entire edifice of the discs, making the readers, it's all coming crashing down because consumer demand has just evaporated. And people are like, oh, but look at this one game or look at this one market where physical sells like crazy. If you look at the overall trend, it's just been nothing but decline for 15 years. What are people supposed to do with their discs? Well, that's exactly the question, which is a totally fair question to ask as the consumer. I think what Xbox is doing is the right call, but the problem is there's no impetus on them to do it. They're doing it because they're moving their audience to a digital-only future, same as PlayStation. They're just doing it and saying, oh, well, you'll be able to convert your discs. Number one, it probably won't even be all of your discs. You're going to have regular Xbox 360 and Xbox One games that you can't do this with. I think there'll be certain games that are not allowed. It's like why you can't cloud stream everything. There's legal hurdles here. The game company has to agree for a game to be cloud streamable. Just like they're going to have to agree for a game's physical copy to be turned into a digital license. That's a thing that that's a hurdle they're gonna have to overcome. Xbox can't just demand this of every company that's out there. So I don't know if PlayStation's gonna offer some sort of a solution. I personally think that they should. I think they should honor the trust that their audience has. That I think you should steward that trust. People trusted you bought discs, bought disc drives. You did this whole thing with the PS4 era. You know, you even made statements at press conferences and things about, you know, preserving and allowing you to continue to use your discs. Well, what happens when there's no longer, you know, disc drives? What are people supposed to do with those discs? I think the literal best case scenario is some form of disc to digital solution, because if the end of disc drives is upon us because nobody wants to make them, the production lines to make them are shutting down because demand is not there, then is there a way to have like one last hurrah, make some sort of a third party or external drive available to people, make the PlayStation 6 able to interact with the disc drives people own now, like the detachable ones they can buy, make it interactable with that, and then give them the opportunity to turn those games into digital licenses. I would hope that PlayStation would see that as something that inadvertently benefits them, because now you're just converting that person's library into digital, and they're way more likely to stay with you. Digital library continuity is a huge aspect of consumer loyalty, so it would be potentially in PlayStation's interest to do it, to allow the person to create the library. Lono, what if they give a disc drive for PS4 and PS5 games and they don't feel the need to announce it? I see people saying that PlayStation is doing nothing, but it's wrong. They haven't said anything. I would imagine that if they had a solution planned, they would have announced it at the time where they announced physical's ending. Like, from a PR perspective, I don't think you just come out and take the brunt of a bad announcement. You would come out and say, hey, we want to do right by the people who have lots of discs and lots of games with us. So we have this option. I don't think they've even thought about it because, again, they probably don't see the business imperative. Brap says the digital future only works if consumers choose at scale to purchase digital content, and they have. With this much uproar and no response, for sure they don't have a plan yet. Yeah, I don't think they have a plan. I don't think so. And again, it is my own personal belief that PlayStation should offer people an option, whether it is a disc drive for the next generation so they can still play their discs, or some form of turning it into a digital license. I think that they should do it. Now, compelling them from a business angle is a little bit more difficult. You can argue from emotion all you want, but the business side of it has to be argued. I would argue to them that it would behoove them to do this, because even if you only get a percentage of your very loyal physical people to do it, that's still consumers staying in your ecosystem. That's still consumers building a massive digital library, which in turn serves their aim of increasing the customer lifetime value. If you own all these physical games, turn them into digital, and you have this massive digital library, well, the likelihood of you continuing with PlayStation and buying more goods, games, microtransactions, or what have you, the likelihood of you doing that goes up when you have that library. The likelihood of that continuing is lowered when you're like, no, we don't have a solution for you. Sorry, guy that owns 200, PlayStation discs. We don't have anything for you. I just bought 3 digital copies of Wolverine. Both for my sons are in college, and I don't want the hassle of discs. Right. Listen, if you've switched over to digital, none of this is a concern to you. Yes, I will be reacting to the GTA 6 extended look at 3 o'clock when it goes live. We are allowed to do that. They've officially announced that. We don't have to wait. I thought we were going to have to wait. I guess it was going to be a logistical nightmare to try to stop people, so they just decided we're not going to do that. Now, they're going to try to stop people from just doing straight-up re-uploads. They don't want you to do that. It needs to be a live reaction. It needs to be transformative, not just a restream of it or a straight-up re-upload. I've been digital for almost less than 10 years. Yeah, I've been digital for a long time, but I'm still taking up for the people who have a physical collection and saying, listen, I actually think it's in PlayStation's interest to give these guys a solution, because turning them into a digital library, it benefits PlayStation. and it benefits the consumer. Both can benefit. Now, this has nothing to do with digital ownership. That's a separate discussion that needs to probably go through governmental regulation and reclassification of what games are. They're not licenses that are revocable. They're a digital good that I can own. That's a separate discussion. We are talking about honoring the trust and the purchases of your most loyal consumers, and also inadvertently benefiting your own business by having a bunch of people grow their digital libraries, which makes them more likely to stay with PlayStation. I think it's a win-win if they can come up with some sort of a solution. We're clearly headed to a digital-only future. Like, people that think this is like some kind of a crazy win for Xbox and they're going to screw PlayStation next gen, I got bad news for you. If the majority of consumers have switched to digital only, empowering this decision, who do you think's going to switch teams? The minority that cares about this so incredibly, like, at such a high level? Well, why would they switch? Explain that to me, I guess. Why would you switch to Xbox? They're giving a feature and a solution to people who already have a big physical Xbox collection. If you don't have that, this feature means nothing to you as a PlayStation user. If you're like considering switching teams for this, why would you? It's a feature that does nothing for you unless you have an enormous Xbox collection. I'm waiting for my VHS to DVD migration path. Thank you for the $2, Brap. I do think that's whimsical and you're making a little tongue-in-cheek, but there's a difference between that and a console ecosystem that you bought into and established a library with. That is, I don't necessarily know if that's an equivalency. You bought all these things from PlayStation with press conferences and presentations that commonly created a lot of trust that, oh yeah, physical, your discs, we're going to make sure you can use your discs going forward. If that trust and that promise is coming to an end, then I think they need to build the off-ramp. That's my own personal belief. And again, I also think there's a business impetus. They would benefit from getting their most loyal physical customers to convert to digital libraries. Not all of them would be willing to do it, but the portion that do, that's going to be a very loyal customer because they're going to have a huge library with you, which makes it even harder for them to leave. That's my take on it. I'm beginning to hate all the fake outrage. It's a crap show. I mean, you know, one of the general problems with, you know, Twitter and YouTube these days is there are people that are genuinely mad, and then there's everybody else. And it's hard to know who's genuinely mad and frustrated and feels like their consumer trust and their, you know, all their spending in their library is sort of being trampled on. I think it's fair for somebody to be upset about that. Then there's all the other nonsense going on and the shenanigans and the performative and the hyperbole and the exaggeration. "99% of PlayStation fans will go all digital. It's all an act." I tend to agree with you, 187. I think most people will just convert because it's what we've done in all these other circumstances. Like, nobody got super upset at like how videos and how TV shows and movies are available now. You want to watch them and you go to where they are. You know, you'd have to completely abandon the hobby. If you don't want to be in a digital only environment, you'd have to completely abandon the hobby because Steam isn't going to save you, Xbox isn't going to save you, PlayStation's not going to save you. We're heading towards a digital only future. And if that's all it takes for you to stop playing games, you know, you probably were going to stop playing games anyway eventually. It doesn't sound like you like the games enough to stay in. Like, I like gaming so much, I'm not going to bail because of this. Like, gaming is so enjoyable, I'm not going to bail because of a medium change. Street Shadow with a $20 super chat. "I think behind the scene, this introduces a periodic or consistent online check for digital games. Xbox needs to check if the game has been redeemed. So if you went offline, the check would never happen, locking you out." You are probably, in fact, correct that if they don't do a periodic check, how on earth do they know it hasn't been redeemed by somebody else, right? I think that's another thing that they're going to have to do. Here, let me do this. I can't get rid of the controls. I like to get rid of the controls. And just to set expectations, guys, this is not some big main stage showcase. It's just a lot of conversations, interviews, and gameplay. So sit back, enjoy, hit like if you don't mind, gift a member or renew a member if you don't mind. The big event, obviously, today is GTA 6, which I will be able to react to live. You'll be able to watch it with me. And now that here they go, the disc to digital thing. Yo, Ristic, thank you for gifting a member. Yeah, it's kind of like Moonlighter 2 and Hades. Rogue Fortune.
We are back for day 2 of the Xbox at Gamescom broadcast. I'm Charlie, that's Henry, and we had a jam-packed show yesterday, and we've got even more in store for you today. So we started off yesterday with announcing the pre-order details for the Xbox 25th Anniversary Collection, including that gorgeous X25 limited edition console, which, in case you missed it, at this very moment is officially open for pre-orders. So head to xbox.com to learn more.
I cannot wait to add that controller to my collection, just to go along with the console itself. So I've got 2. Yeah, why not? Oh, it's also worth noting, Charlie, that we did just see our very first world premiere of the day with Rogue Fortune.
It's going to be a good day, Henry. And while fans here at the Xbox booth are getting their hands on the latest demos and gaming experiences, we are bringing the booth to you at home with more world premieres, live gameplay, and interviews with some of the people who bring us the games, delighting fans here in Germany and around the world.
Well, speaking of the Xbox booth, throughout the show, we're actually going to be bringing you guys that are watching at home to the booth as we celebrate 25 years of Xbox, including this experience showcasing Xbox through the eras.
Absolutely stunning. Each console is displayed underneath their relative era's living room.
Thank you, John, for 55 months.
Completely handcrafted, by the way. And
if the disc changes hands, the digital entitlement can transfer to the new owner rather than remaining permanently with the original buyer. Yeah, you can transfer the license to another person.
The screen in the Xbox Series era over there is the highest resolution screen in the entire booth.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. But this is the
OG
Xbox era living room, and honestly, I think it's my favorite one out of all of them because yes, you got the big Duke at the bottom there, but up here well, I'm going to call it the Dinky Duke.
The Dinky Duke.
Dinky Duke is so cute because it's basically the smallest, biggest controller ever.
Yeah.
The touchscreen devices on all of the dioramas are pretty cool though because they mimic the UI and like the experience of turning on those consoles as well. Okay, you go.
Wow.
Yeah, you remember that? You remember that? I remember that in particular. And then as you're moving through, you get all these cool factoids about like the launch of the console, memorable games, and as you press through them, it lights up different things.
Yeah,
you see
the screen.
It's rolling like OG Bungie the intro as well, which will then go into the Halo Combat Evolved screen, which is so sick. I love the little details. They're all absolutely beautiful. But what else is really cool is
yeah, I'll probably do some pausing and talking of the GTA 6 extended look. Number one, I want to do that to protect myself. I don't want it to be viewed as a totally non-transformative replacement where Netflix could take an issue with that. There's a 6-hour window where they're going to be cracking down on people who just straight up re-streamed or re-uploaded it. I will make it an enjoyable experience for you guys, though. I won't be like, you know, constantly doing it or making it rude or obnoxious or anything like that. If you guys are enjoying being here for another day at Gamescom, hit the like button. I know this is a little indulgent and they're just kind of yapping, but it's part of the presentation. I think they both do a good job. I like Charlie. She's on the left. I think she's a very good host. She does good work. But they're just doing sort of a floor thing.
I remember my OG Xbox memory for, I think it was Fable 2. I think was my favorite. That was the moment my eyes sort of opened up and I went, hey, not only do I like video games more than I thought I did, but I realized they could be so much more. We all know the gut-wrenching decision you have to make at the end of Fable 2. I would judge anyone who didn't choose the dog, by the way, spoiler alert. But it just sort of, yeah, it was at that point I went, this is in my DNA, and I'm going to be glued to my Xbox for the foreseeable. Thank you very much.
Well, with that in mind, why don't we keep you guys glued right here and jump into the action with a game that is already making headlines here at Gamescom. So check this out.
Imagine yapping for a living. I know, like, imagine yapping for a living. They're calling the disc useless while not understanding the program. Yeah, the disc isn't useless. It's that the disc is it serves a purpose, but it's no longer required, right? Like, going forward, if you have a digital library that, you know, that you made out of discs, then that served a purpose. Yeah, it looks like one of the problems would be that the Xbox discs have always been digital with a unique identifier, and PlayStation has always done discs that then can be played offline. So it's not like a digital, and it doesn't have an identifier. So it sounds to me like PlayStation may not have the option to do the same thing, from what I'm being told. Yeah, we saw this yesterday. Right, about video games. Yeah, imagine yapping about video games for a living. I can't even imagine somebody doing that. Yeah, PUBG DeadNet.
A 1990s inspired Cascadian world infused with atmospheric dread and eerie clandestine cult narratives.
Here to unpack that doozy of a sentence and the game that goes with it is the creative director of PUBG's DeadNet, Dave Kurd. How are you, Dave? Welcome.
Hi, Bex. Hi, Benny. Thank you so much.
I love her accent, but sometimes it takes me a second to calibrate. I was like, I don't know what she's saying. Now I do. It's like, I was like, what? And they're like, oh, wait, hang on. I have to calibrate to her accent. It takes me a second.
Amazing. You're coming off the back of an amazing trailer opening night live. How's the reaction been for the team?
The team's losing their minds. We're obviously, there's the time difference, and I'm in Slack watching all the heart emojis, and we're all just incredibly stoked.
Amazing. Love to hear that.
I'm not surprised because that trailer was absolutely incredible. I've got to ask a few things about it. First of all, the blade hands. Like, what in the world are those?
Yeah, I know you guys don't care about this. PlayStation's cooked in that regards to PS6 playing your physical PS5 games. Why would those guys switch? Not until they have a massive library we're switching to. Yeah, if PlayStation doesn't have an option or a pivot to allow you to turn your discs into digital, my hope would be that they make it to where the disc drives of the PS5 can integrate and interface with the PS6, or if somebody makes external drives that you're able to buy and then perpetually play your games. That would obviously be the concern, is that over time your physical library of games would become a complete, you know, shelf of plastic that you can't do anything with.
Very good. Now, can you break down a little bit about the gameplay, maybe the player journey on DeadNet and through the world that we're entering?
Yeah, it's kind of a 1990s nightmare multi-match journey where we challenge the player to take an avatar from zero to hero. Between each match, they're taking on valuable new abilities like crawling around on the floor like a snake or hiding in a locker like a creeper. And you're also taking on funny injuries like a nervous tick where you spam taunts or you can...
When will Riot's event happen? I don't know. I didn't know Riot was doing an event. Real Ask, says Zubair, what percentage of console buyers trade in or sell their old console? I'm trying to get a sense of how many people getting a PS6 would keep their PS5 around for a while too. I don't know the percentage, Zubair. I actually would say more people probably keep the old one than get rid of it. I think the minority probably just straight up trade, which I think that'll be even more so when they realize, oh, I can't play my discs on the PlayStation 6 unless there's some sort of a drive. Like if they sell something called, a backwards compatible drive or something, because they wouldn't want to sell a disc drive and set the expectation that the PlayStation 6 is going to have discs, because it clearly will not. PlayStation 6 games going forward will be digital only.
Run health, imagine that as your career hit points. And now it's time to start playing DeadNet. So every match, if you do pretty well, your run health is protected. If you totally get wrecked early, which happens to me plenty of times, you lose a little bit of that run health. But even if you get totally smoked in the first few minutes, you go to the out game, and now it's time to make a decision. We're going to offer you a new power that kind of goes with that core fantasy you selected. We're going to offer you something tantalizing really outside your core fantasy. Maybe you're a support character and we're like, hey, do you want a boombox that lets you blast Wu-Tang Clan to heal your squad?
Obviously I do. I do want that.
Exactly. And then third, we'll offer you something that kind of every character could.
I know we're not listening to this much, but I said this yesterday. Props to the audio team. This is the first year this has been really pleasant to listen to. They figured out they're probably using some kind of AI to block all the background noise.
With you sneeze in the smoke or it hurts to swim. And so as you're playing and pushing, you're mitigating. I'm building, I think, my dream player build, but also I'm getting these wacky injuries that come up and can cause hilarious whoopsie-daisies. One of my favorite injuries is called Hollywood Stuntman. Yeah. When you slide or dive, occasionally small chance for an explosion behind you, which will hurt you and your squad. So you feel cool, but you might bust your buddies.
So many things that can happen. But you've actually brought to Gamescom and this video, an exclusive video that will give us a bit of an insight into the world of DeadNet as well. So let's take a look at that.
Fresh meat, huh? Cool. I'm Floyd. Guess that makes me your tour guide to this lovely little patch of hell they call Cascadia. Don't bother telling me your name. I got attachment issues. Mom says I love too hard. Anyway, watch where you step out here. Make too much noise and we'll be up to our assholes and weirdos. Oh, fuck. Okay, dude. Sit back, buckle up, and don't even think.
The lack of background noise is nice, but it's made the audio more tinny. Yeah, there's definitely some smoothness that they could probably, or warmth they could probably add. Sometimes that just comes down to the microphones that they're using. The microphones themselves, tend to be a little bit more tinny. It also could just be whoever's doing the EQ. They've not properly, added some good mid and bass.
Still plenty of fun to be had in the silly hole.
So, I have almost every version of the PlayStation. I mean, I actually don't know the numbers. My speculation was just that the majority of people probably keep their old console. Maybe I've got it backwards, and a majority of people actually trade their old console. I don't know. The point is that if the majority of consumers have switched to digital, don't expect there to be some sort of a tectonic shift next gen when PlayStation's digital only. Like, the majority of consumers aren't even going to blink at that. The small amount that might be upset by it, I don't know where you're going to go, because Xbox is going to digital only. Steam already is digital only. So I'm not really sure where people think they're going to go.
This is why I hate doing these fucking tours!
Sorry.
Good luck, rookie! Yeah,
It kind of goes without saying, whenever we're co-streaming events like this, it's not going to be safe for work because people like to be edgy and cool with curse words in video games. Like, oh, F word.
Whew! Awesome work, pal. I thought we lost you there for a second. Almost forgot. Before we go, one more thing. Hey, have you heard of the body shop? The things they can do to a person. We truly live in an age of miracles.
Well, clearly the game has a very distinct vibe, and it looks sick as heck, Dave. I love it. I'm obsessed with every little detail. Can you talk to us a little bit about the inspiration for the world of DeadNet and what you're trying to invoke from players and their feelings?
Well, I kind of think the age of making something that everyone kind of likes is over. I think it's time to make games that are evocative and are love-hate. I think the fans will forgive anything but being bored. So we wanted to take a big swing with a mid-90s Pacific Northwest setting, but not just cheaply recreating the 90s, but to take the films and movies I grew up with, Twin Peaks, X-Files, Silence of the Lambs, put it through a meat grinder, add body horror, David Cronenberg stuff, and arrive at something that is distinctly DeadNet.
Heck yeah, that's so sick.
Yeah, it looks amazing. Like every time I see these videos, I just want to keep playing. But there's a few things you pick up as well, like the opening of the window. Like the environment that you're playing in makes a lot of tactical differences to your gameplay. Could you expand a little bit on that for us?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously with Nanite and Lumen, the world is dense and detailed and beautiful, but players care about playing games. So a good example I use is in PUBG. If you see a window, you can shoot it or you can kind of smash through it. And that's great. In our game, we have...
Your thoughts on what he just said? I mean, there's truth to what he said, like, go for being both loved and hated as opposed to being sort of like lukewarm and in the middle. And I mean, I definitely think they're being more evocative and provocative with their game. I mean, they've got women running around in bathing suits, they're cursing, they're being irreverent. Like, I think that that's totally fine to have that viewpoint. I don't necessarily know if the problem with a lot of the failed live service games is that they didn't go for like, oh, we want to be both loved and hated. A lot of the problems tend to, at least in my estimation, stem from the fact that like live service is heavily saturated and a lot of the games that come out are just trying to do something that we've kind of already done before. Like the guys that made Splitgate and they made their like Titanfall adjacent game that they made, the guys, what was it called, Impulse or whatever. They're having to shut both of those games down. They're going to turn them to peer-to-peer so people can keep playing them if they want. And that's because they're just not making enough money. Which nobody looked at those games and thought they were being like neutered or safe or boring. It was just like, no, it's just sort of a tired genre. It's something that people feel like they've played before. It's something that after a weekend or a week of playtime, you kind of feel like you've seen and heard all that you're going to see. So I get what he's saying, like own your identity, go for being both loved and hated. I think that there's sense to that. But I also don't necessarily think that that's like the real indictment of a lot of the failed live service games goes beyond just their cosmetic blandness or their safeness, right? Or, oh, the women aren't hot enough. I think those are such superficial judgments of those games. The real reason a lot of those games failed is because they were no good or not fun or not in high demand. You could have filled Splitgate with half-naked women. You could have filled Concord with half-naked women. It wouldn't have changed the outcome one iota because the gameplay loop would still get incredibly boring incredibly fast. I think that's kind of the road that a lot of those games were on.
And then we run it through some post-processing.
That's a great time to come back off of the mute.
Stadia, and you're hiding and waiting to get the drop to somebody. That's going to be my voice gently whispering in your ears.
Love it.
I'll remember that. I've also got to ask, because I know it's so important to players, is the size of the DeadNet map as well. Could you tell us a bit more about that?
Absolutely. It is 5.5 by 5.5 kilometers of real Cascadian wilderness with mountains and jungles and beaches and plains and farms. But the initial circle, how the game begins, is only a 2.5 by 2.5 circle. So even though we're launching with one map, you never get the same zone twice.
Interesting.
That's going to be amazing, because it's going to force players to have to kind of learn different areas of the map and also different ways of approaching with their abilities that they've picked up.
Yeah. Dave, I got to ask, we've seen it a couple of times in some of the gameplay. We've got a lot of baby dolls going on. Some of them are running around. Can you tell us a wee bit more about that? Because that looks right up your street.
So we have kind of beyond chasing abilities and injuries, we have this notion of weirdos. These are very strange choices you can make for that single match, including taking those hands off or becoming the large dual SM or LMG wielding pig, or in the case you just mentioned.
Impulse reminded me of the last-ditch effort battle royale game that even Cliffy B made to try to save his studio. They were bare bones games, and you can tell what it is. I mean, I think getting something out into the public quickly and letting them play it, test it, and give feedback is a perfectly fine strategy to have. I also think sometimes people forget that the magic and the lightning in a bottle moment that a lot of these studios have experienced, I don't think is something that you can necessarily chase. It's not something that you can necessarily replicate. I think many people forget that. I think what they do is, sadly, I think they see live service as a recipe, and they're like, well, if we put all the appropriate parts in, then out on the other side is going to be a live service game that then people are going to play. But the issue is, when there's so many games already sort of in that field and so many games sort of already in that genre, or it's a game that feels like something that we played so many times in the 90s or the early 2000s, people are just going to immediately feel like, yeah, I've had my fill of this. You know, it would be like opening up, 8 bowling alleys on the same street. I mean, there's only so many people that are going to want to play bowling on a given evening, weekend, or week, and then you're going to have all these bowling alleys right on top of each other. I think that's what a lot of these games end up feeling like. Another good example would be like, when I was growing up, I felt like there were roller rinks fairly regularly throughout cities. Like, people would go and roller skate at roller rinks. Now, you'll probably find maybe one in a tri-state area, right? Like, one roller rink. Well, generationally, that kind of shifted, and now it's not as in high demand. And I think that arena shooters they're sort of like the roller rinks of live service games. Like, people remember them fondly, and they'll play them for a short amount of time. But there's not this massive demand for, like, 8 different arena PvP live service shooters in the market. Like, if you opened up 5 roller rinks in some city, you probably wouldn't get a lot of foot traffic because, like, generationally, that's just not a thing people do anymore to the same degree they did, like, when I was growing up, in the town that I grew up in the 90s. Why can us normal people see this, but they can't? Well, because I think a lot of these things take time. So I think a lot of these efforts and a lot of these live service efforts, and I'm not talking about PUBG here. This is just a catalyst to the conversation because it's on the screen. I think a lot of these games take time. So 4 years ago, 5 years ago, we were coming out of COVID, and I think a lot of companies spent a lot of money thinking, oh, we could build a Fortnite. We could build a game like Fortnite because we were coming out of COVID, and people were thinking, like, these player numbers, this spending is absurd. Let's cash in on this gold rush. Well, fast forward to 2025, 2024, and even this year, 2026, 4, 5, and 6 years after COVID, people are like, yeah, we don't really want to sit around and play these games all the time. The market's very saturated. We've had our fill. Or in the case of arena shooters, I think a lot of people are just like, no, I've really had my palette changed. I really prefer Battle Royale. I really prefer Extraction, or I really prefer something more emergent as opposed to something that's so rote and rehearsed. Like, you learn the map, you learn the best choke points, go to said choke points, get in gunfights, lose or die, and wash, rinse, repeat. Like, that's pretty much the content loop of an arena shooter. Regardless of the map and regardless of the map design, you learn the best choke points, you learn the best vantage points, you go to said choke points and vantage points, and that's what you do, you over and over and over and over and over again. Yes, we will be doing a live reaction to the GTA 6 extended look. They have clarified that we are allowed to do that. They are not stealing your disc. Bad take. You can still borrow them, sell them, or use them elsewhere. You can now benefit the digital side of owning that game, as I can play it on PC, cloud, or handheld. Yeah, I think the disc to digital is a win for people with really big physical Xbox collections because they can create a huge digital library, but the discs are retaining value. There still might be people out there that want to buy those discs from you. Like, let's say you have like 6 games on a disc and you just don't care for it anymore and you don't ever want to play them ever again, but there's somebody out there that wants them. Disc to digital gives those things a perpetual value point because somebody might actually want them in 5 years and they can then do something with them. So, why did the grenade launcher say eat dog eat? I don't know. Content loop of video games, pressing button. Sometimes it can feel that way, yes. Yes.
Thank you so much. It was a privilege and an honor. Have a great show, guys.
Thank you. Got to get that 90s playlist from you as well at some point.
Look for it on Spotify.
Nice. Now, coming up for you guys, we are jumping into the driver's seat of a Hollywood stunt car as we traverse the world's deadliest petting zoo with a prehistoric twist and all the beasts that you can shake sticks at. But first, shifting gears to a jet engine with a saddle, it's time to go under the hood with Star Wars Galactic Racers.
Yo, thank you, Mike on a mic, for a gifted member getting us to 223. Guys, these are great days to go crazy.
You know they're as dangerous as they look. You've ridden one before, but you've never raced one. That's where things get really interesting. Speeder bikes are like concussion missiles with handlebars. No wonder the Empire love these things. On the throttle, it's all go, but it does run wide in corners, so you gotta learn to wield her kinetic burst. Engage the kinetic burst, and bam! You decelerate hard, but lean in and hit the apex of the corner, and you'll blast out! It's a regenerative burst. Brake in, speed out. Now, there is a catch. Speeder bikes can be a little less resilient than good old land speeders. When Scandaro comes smacking into you, you're gonna feel it. So when you aren't in the mood to get kicked around the track, lean into that beautiful kinetic burst. And
Thank you,
keep
Matt,
an eye out for shortcuts. Little
for
pathways
64 months.
perfect for a craft of this profile. Oh, and watch out for hazards at those high speeds, all right? One bad line, or a racer that didn't move out of the way in time, and you're wrecked. Oh, ouch. Get me the parts, and I'll assemble the perfect speeder bike to suit your style. The sky's the limit, Shade. Whopping great engine. Sure, why not? How about some racing stripes too, for good measure? Quick acceleration, outrageous tricks, and a real menace in the right hands. What are you waiting for? Go, Shade!
It just seems like such a fun game. It seems so
We're on
fun.
the other side of the looking glass. Place called Nod Nod.
My apologies for being behind here, but how exactly did we end up on an island? All I remember was letting them borrow my mobile phone at the clinic, and now here we are.
This town has a reputation for occult rituals and devilry, you know. This is
Yeah, I don't think the narration there really helped that packaging. Could we get 20 more likes on the video? I think Star Wars Galactic Racer has really surprised me as a game. Like, the more I see, the more I want to play. They broke down the various different types of speeders yesterday, and I was like, oh my gosh, this just seems so dadgum cool. Like the skim speeder, I think is the one they called, that like pivots up on the corner. It's just got such a vibe. And the rogue elements really intrigue me. People are worried that it is quote-unquote a rogue. I believe it's still a very linear game with rogue elements. So, I would not worry about that.
A creative management game where you get to build and manage your dream zoos. You'll be able to care for aquatic, terrestrial and avian species from all over the world, both within and beyond your zoos. Today, we're giving you a sneak preview of
So Far Far West just pushed out an update today called Frostburn. I believe it's still in early access on Steam with a 92% recent and a 96% overall. Far Far West is also on sale for $15. So be sure to check out Far Far West. It's kind of like Cowboy Helldivers, and I think it looks amazing. I can't wait for it to come to console. I am very, very much looking forward to it. So you can check that out on Steam today.
We hope you'll enjoy coming to these beautiful areas to relax, in between managing your zoos. We'll be sharing more details on wildlife reserves soon, so follow Planet Zoo 2 on social channels to be the first to know.
Yeah, Dan says Galactic Racer is the game that everyone's talking about. It has a campaign and other modes. It's more than just a racing game. Look up the people who had time with the game. Some are saying potential game of the year. It would be absolutely wild if it got a nomination and maybe even one. That would be absolutely insane. I mean, it's going to be a tough year for everybody, especially if they make the length of time for nominations to include GTA 6. It's going to be a really tough year, but that would be wild if Star Wars Galactic Racer got up there.
ROG Xbox Ally. So, yeah, it's only fitting that this year we're going to bring you the next generation of Xbox handhelds. And here to tell us all about the exciting new ROG Xbox Ally X20 launching later this year, please welcome General Manager of Xbox Devices, Dave Kearney, and Asus Director of Product for Gaming, Gabe Meng. Welcome, guys. Welcome to Gamescom.
Thank you. It's exciting.
Thanks so much.
Yeah,
it's good to see you again, Gabe. Obviously, last year we had a lot of fun talking Xbox Ally, but we've got something a bit different now to talk about this year, and it's sitting right between us, which is very cool. But before we get to the new device, it won't be too long since it'll have been a whole year since the Xbox Ally range of devices were released. So why don't you talk to us a little bit about how that's been received, guys?
Well, it's been super exciting to see the fan reaction. We designed the original Xbox Ally to be, the way that you get that Xbox experience on the go, and you can play your games wherever you want to. And it's been so fun to see people around the world doing exactly that, playing Xbox in all kinds of interesting locations.
Thank you, Cardoc Ren.
Yeah, we'll tell you where I play mine.
Thank you, Cardoc Ren, for using your Prime sub and getting the 225. It just sat there that whole time, waiting for somebody to steal it. And I now owe a member to Twitch. Thank you, sir.
We've been expanding the number of titles that can take advantage of default game profiles, which automatically sets up the Xbox Ally products to be able to operate with the optimal frame rate and power settings. We've also been expanding advanced shader delivery, so that allows you to download your game shaders at the same time as the game itself. So you're able to just, when you launch that game for the first time, start the game faster, it plays smoothly, just like you would expect it to do. And then when you combine that with the work we've been doing with game studios, you've got the new games like Forza Horizon 6, Halo, Campaign Evolved, supporting all these features right out of the gate. So players get to just experience handheld gaming like it should be. No messing with settings, just jump right into the game as you would expect. And we're just getting started. There's more around the corner.
I like to hear that. Yeah, I mean, convenience with handhelds is one of the number one reasons why I love playing with them. So to hear that all that work is going into these devices and that it's really, truly giving that gaming anywhere you like experience is awesome to see. But 2 days ago, you guys also announced that pre-orders are now live for the newest handheld in the ROG Xbox family. So Gabe, tell us about this stunning piece of hardware right here.
Absolutely. We tried to level up everything. ROG celebrates 20 years of gaming, community, and innovation this year. And our theme of translucent black and gold is on the ROG Xbox Ally X20 to its translucent shell with now updated rubber grips and contrasting gold accents from the system buttons to that custom new color hue on our brand new light rings to the internals and thermals. Functionally, we've also updated play by introducing TMR joystick modules. This minimizes power consumption while significantly reducing joystick drift over time. We've also updated our transforming D-pad.
That's my bad, Rob. I just paused them. I'm sorry about that. I usually pause those for live events. I will definitely do that during the GTA 6 Extended Look. Make sure and remind me if I forget. I have to consistently do it every 10 minutes or it'll start up again.
Switch it on to play.
Cool. Okay. What else we got going?
Absolutely. But probably most noteworthy and a long time coming is our premium OLED experience. Yes. I'm so happy to say that the Ally X20 has an ROG Nebula HDR display, the very best of our standard of gaming displays. What this means in practice is a certified Visa Display HDR True Black 1400 that starts with less than 1 nit of black to all the way of radiant highlights at 1400 nits. What you're seeing is a cinematic of our ROG Saga universe game cinematic animation play, not actual gameplay, against our current Ally X20 and our Ally X.
And it's definitely like a significant, even though it wasn't gameplay, it's still something you're really going to notice in terms of the depth of color, the richness of it as well. So, I mean, huge upgrade right there.
Absolutely. You're going to see some of the deepest blacks against those radiant highlights. That's what true HDR is.
Nice.
And as a gaming certified panel, that means you're going to get variable refresh rate. So we're so happy to say that this panel has AMD FreeSync Premium Pro. That means starting at 30 instead of 48 hertz and going all the way to 120 hertz, you get adaptive sync and it's with HDR. And best of all, it comes as a 7.4 inch panel that we fit into our portable ergonomic space by slimming the bezels on top. Players can also expect a suite of ROG software features intended for this whole experience at launch.
That's pretty, you know what? Good job. I mean, the X was great. That's a really impressive amount of things that you've managed to pack into it. I mean, larger screen, brighter colors, deeper blacks, and also I'm a sucker for translucent hardware, so you got me on board with that straight away. Obviously, like you were saying, the Ally family has been undergoing numerous software updates, firmware updates that have improved the experience for players who already own an Xbox Ally or an Xbox Ally X. Can we expect that same level of updates to land with the X20 as well?
For sure. I mean, one of the things that I love about the gaming community is just the passion. And there is no shortage of feedback that we get from all the fans out there. It really gives us inspiration, and we've made it our mission across Xbox and ROG to continue to level up the experience. Some of the examples of additional things that we've been doing is we've improved the library experience, so now players can actually pin their own games and pin their own apps, so they can just easily jump into the experiences that they love. We've also been rolling out a new feature called and I'm referring to super wideband stereo voice support for Bluetooth LE audio. It's a lot of words. Sorry, I had to refer to my card here. But essentially what it means is that if you have a Bluetooth audio headset with a microphone and a game wants to go ahead and jump into using the microphone so you can play competitively or online, it just goes ahead and doesn't convert it to mono. It stays stereo. It stays surround sound like you'd want it to with Bluetooth, which is magical, and it's exactly gaming as it should be.
That's really cool.
Yeah, super awesome. We've improved the docking experience as well, so that if you're going to plug into a TV or a monitor or even one of the augmented reality ROG X Real headsets, it just works smoothly. We've also been rolling out automatic super resolution for insider preview.
Yeah, I mean, this is cool for people that want handhelds. My struggle has always been, it's just they're so expensive for the performance that you get. Like a game like this that we know has an easier time with frame rate because it's contained is getting a 10 bump here into the 45s or whatever with the feature that they were talking about there. I don't know. I don't game enough on the go to get a lot out of it. Like, it's a very expensive device to be playing games like Mugenics and Slay the Spire on, you know, because I wouldn't want to be playing games where you actually want good frame rate and performance.
20 pre-orders are live right now for both the standalone handheld, but also a bundle that includes the limited edition ROG X Real R1 glasses, a matching limited edition kill switch from D-Brand, and also, yeah, we're not done, a limited edition Pelican case for your handheld and accessories. So why don't you head to the website in the graphics just down below for more information.
It's like 14 or 1300.
Next up, I got a chance to catch up with the best gaming community in the world as they celebrate 25 years of Xbox. Because the Xbox Fan Fest worst.
You're paying the equivalent of a high laptop tax. It's only worth it for the mobility. Yeah, like if I was traveling all of the time and felt like, ooh, I could play, you know, Slay the Spire on this, Mugenics, things like that, like maybe. It's really expensive for that to be essentially what the device is.
We're getting to spend time with them,
absolutely,
connecting with people. It gives such deep purpose to what we do, the work we do, the games we make, and why gaming is such a unique social form of entertainment that connects us and lifts us all up, and the fans are the center of that.
I'm so excited to be back to celebrate with you, the fans, because as you know, the community is near and dear to me. But right now, we're here to celebrate the great games. We're here to celebrate 25 years of Xbox.
What is your favorite memory from across the years of Xbox?
I gifted my little sisters an Xbox for their birthday. They're 10 years younger, and it was very exciting seeing them exploring all the games and getting comfortable with the console.
So you're inspiring the next generation of Xbox fans.
Really excited. It's really a nice location, and the activities here are really cool. I won an Xbox controller, so that's a big plus.
I have to ask, you've been to so many throughout the years. What is your most favorite thing about FanFest? What makes it FanFest?
I mean, I have to say it's in the name, FanFest, right? It's the fans. They are what power this. They are what power Xbox. So coming here, feeling that energy, it's intoxicating.
Favorite thing about coming to FanFest?
Actually meeting new people every day, but also meeting friends from last year, and also playing all the good games, also in Game Pass. So, yeah.
Tonight's really special because you're here with us celebrating, so I want to just give a big round of applause and say thank you to this Xbox community.
Thank you for the $2 super chat, Mike on a mic. Look at all those nerds. Yeah, dude, look at them nerds. Dune Awakening. So we're getting confirmation here on Twitter from Videotech. He says that one of the influencers that Rockstar Games invited to the Edinburgh office confirms creators had hands-on with GTA 6. So that stuff will be getting revealed today. That embargo drops. They will be sharing their thoughts and their experiences with the game. If you guys are enjoying the show and having a place to hang out today, don't go anywhere. We will be doing the GTA 6 extended look together. We are allowed to live stream and react. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you've hit the like button. Do all of those things. We greatly appreciate you guys being here. The like button is extremely helpful. Gifting members, renewing members, and doing primes is helpful. I am, on these days for live events, I am pausing the ads as much as I possibly can when I remember to. If you appreciate that, you can show some support. to the video and the channel today for making this a better experience for you. And this is looking like they're adding some emotes and things to Dune Awakening. Dune Awakening is coming to consoles very soon. It's like a month away, I think.
The world is shattered. Is all really lost? I'm Angelica, creative director on Kingdom 3 Rising Realms, and I'm about to share a glimpse of what we're building in the next installment of the Kingdom game series. Kingdom is an atmospheric, side-scrolling, micro-strategy and tower defense game where you play as the monarch, wielder of the crown of creation, giving you the ability to rule. Guided only by the light of your torch, you find yourself in a dark forest. Alone, you take your first step to building your kingdom and your legacy. Ancient monuments tower against the sky as if our ancestors are still casting their stony gaze over the landscape. This looks like a pretty good spot for an outpost. A key part in managing your kingdom is to build and recruit. So let's get some citizens and assign them jobs. Hammers will create workers to help us construct new buildings, like a palisade. And bows will get us archers, ready to hunt and defend the kingdom. It may seem kind of small at first, but we'll find more people to join our cause as we explore the lands. In Kingdom 3, we want to create a vibrant world that speaks of ancient legends and introduce you to some new faces, hopefully friendly ones. Like this elite character here. She's the Bowmaster, a skilled archer who will not only bring her own firepower, but also strengthen the other archers in the kingdom. Elites are new units. They're one of a kind and they'll all bring powerful and unique abilities, and strategic choices for upgrades. Sometimes for offense, sometimes for defense, or even for a boost on the economy side of things. And that's good, because you'll need all the support you can get. As the last rays of light sink into the sea, you'll hear howls coming from the forest. The greed, they are coming for you. Finding shelter behind the walls is a clever move. Thanks to some well-placed defenses, it looks like we'll survive the night. But something tells me the greed will be back. When dawn finally arrives, we can breathe again. This is a great time to head out and discover more of our surroundings. Maybe we can find out where the greed came from.
Guys, this sounds like Erica from Ericuts for the Win with an accent. Do you hear it?
And mythological beings. This demo only shows a fraction of what we planned. Interesting. I can't seem to interact with this one just yet. Don't let the beauty of this world fool you. Everything you see is at risk. We've already encountered the nightly creatures, but it's not just them. No, it's the whole land. It's like the greed has turned nature itself against us. Corrupted goo spreading and cursing the very ground we want to build our kingdom upon. Its spores and vines knock the coins out of our bag and threaten the very crown that sits upon our head. This is a new threat, and there's a new force within the greed, making them more powerful than ever. This has been a first peek into the world of Kingdom 3 Rising Realms. As you've seen, you can of course rule alone, but you don't have to. The game will have co-op, so you can always share the weight of the crown with a friend. I can't wait to show you more of the world in the future. Until then, you can wishlist Kingdom 3 Rising Realms right now.
I wonder how co-op will feel in a game like that. You know?
And now welcome to the new home of the National Championship Air Races, Roswell, New Mexico.
to Gamescom and didn't talk about Microsoft Flight Simulator, would it even be Gamescom? No. So joining me to talk about the update that you just saw is head of Microsoft Flight Simulator, Jorg Newman, and President and Chief Operating Officer of the National Championship Air Races, Tony Logatetta. Welcome, guys. How are you?
Great. Thank you for having us.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Now, the National Championship Air Races trailer, that looked sick, what we just saw.
Indeed.
Can you tell me a little bit more about it?
Sure, absolutely. So the National Championship Air Races go all the way back to 1964. It's a unique, one-of-a-kind event in the world. It features multi-lap, multi-aircraft racing with a variety of aircraft ranging from small aerobatic biplanes all the way up to World War II era warbirds and military training jets. It's really super cool. It's the world's fastest motorsport. Planes get over speeds of 500 miles an hour racing wingtip to wingtip.
That's
up
pretty
against
fast.
each other. Oh, yeah. Not too many things that go that fast. Not with humans inside them anyway, right? You get some rocket cars and military jets and some commercial airliners. But, yeah, it's pretty incredible. I took the ICE train from Frankfurt yesterday, and it only goes about half as fast as these.
Oh, gotta catch up. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Amazing variety of planes and amazing speeds as well. But tell me, how close to the ground do they actually fly? Because they look pretty close there.
Yeah, they get very close. So,
really?
Yes, it's 50 to 350 feet now. So
Oh.
15 meters above the ground where a lot of them are flying. Yeah, it's
That's
very...
pretty scary.
Oh, yeah. It's incredibly challenging, and it really takes the best pilots in the world to participate in the event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. Now, would you like this? Oh.
So we connected Jorg and his team with a bunch of our most experienced pilots.
Yeah.
And it's been so cool to watch them work and just work so hard at making this truly.
I love the guy on the right. He always brings such a good and fun energy. Like, they do really cool stuff with Flight Sim, even though it's a game I've just never really been all that interested in. It's very cool what they're able to achieve.
Really excited for Flight Sim fans to see it.
I love the design of the Roswell track. That looked really cool.
It's awesome.
And then you've spoken about some of the pilots working with the team at Flight Simulator. Jorg, how have you made the team, you and the team made such an experience feel really authentic and realistic in Flight Sim for the likes of me, who maybe isn't the best pilot just yet anyway?
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't obviously do it without the help of Tony and his team. So we worked with them for like 6 years now.
Cool.
And in Flight Sim 2020, we actually had the Reno Air Race. It's a classic race. And it was fun. It was exciting. It has a lot of fans. But for Flight Sim 2024, we want to take this a lot further, make it more realistic.
Thank you, Denver, for renewing your membership for 19 months, enjoying all the positive hype around games. Thank you so much. Guys, make sure you are hitting that like button. Try to get us to 300 likes. I am continuing to pause the ads, so if you appreciate that, you can support by hitting like, commenting, sub, and all the rest. Thanks so much.
It's a more challenging thing, but it's much deeper. And it's a lot more fun. And on top of that, we added another race class, the short takeoff and landing race class. You saw it in the trailer. They're like super close to the ground. It's like a 1-to-1 versus race. Also super fun.
Wow, it sounds really good and really fun. I'd love to have a go, and we actually have experiences here at Gamescom, right, on the Xbox booth?
Yes. Like, so it's right over there. Like, it's the first time anybody outside the team can play the National Championship Air Races. We have a leaderboard. The leaderboard is a daily leaderboard. Yesterday I was on it for like a brief moment.
Oh, well done, you.
Yeah, well, but no. So whoever gets the top prize gets a really cool remote control P-51. We brought 7 of those planes. They're the fastest ones in the race, 500 miles an hour.
Wow.
And we'll see who wins.
Okay, well, maybe I'll have to have a go and try and win that prize for myself afterwards. Tony, thank you so much for joining us to tell us about the National Air Race Championships and what we can look forward to in Flight Sim with that. Can you let me know when that's coming out now?
Yeah, so the real live event is coming up in 3 weeks, September 16th to 20th in Roswell, New Mexico.
Not long at all. How exciting.
And we're going to start flighting it in Flight Sim, and it's releasing October 13th.
Yep.
So get ready.
Get ready. You better get ready. Now, Jorg, as usual, I know that's not all. Have you got something else to share with us today?
Just a little.
Just a little. Let's take a look.
Yeah, so I'm from Germany, as you probably know, right? So let's watch the trailer first.
Thank you, Denver, for gifting a member. I'm just waiting for someone to start singing. It sounds like a Disney movie, like, you know, I can fly all the way back home. Like, I can't unhear it. It sounds like a Disney movie. Like, I was just waiting for some guy's voice to come in and start singing, you know?
Well, Jorg, that is a very pretty plane, but I'd love to know from you, is there anything about that that's special or any extra context I should know?
Yeah, so as you know, I'm from Germany, here in Cologne. I love to come here and announce German planes. It's one of my favorite things in the world. This one, it's called the Heinkel HE-70 Blitz. It was the fastest plane in its time. So in 1930, Lufthansa, which is a big German airline, they wanted a plane to connect Hamburg, Berlin, Frankfurt and Cologne. And so this was the fastest plane at the time. It broke 8 of the world's speed records and has a special design. I don't know if you saw it. It was very innovative. So it had a retractable undercarriage. It was the first time that any airliner did that. It had the retractable air coolant for the engine, and that made it the fastest plane. It flew like 200 miles an hour back then, which was shocking. They only made 324. And none of them survived. The last one was scrapped, unfortunately, in 1954. So when we decided to bring this back, we had to find all the people who know anything about it, museums, aviation enthusiasts, and they helped us a ton. And it took many years to do this, and I think the end result is fantastic, and everybody's super happy. And I can't wait for everybody to play it. It launches today, as a matter of fact, right now.
That's a little celebration. Oh my gosh! Well, I can't wait to check out as well. Great context with the history and something a bit personal for you as well. That's lovely, Jorg. I really love the way you and a lot of the team are working to preserve such iconic historic aircrafts like the Blitz. And the other thing I love about Microsoft Flight Simulator is your dedication to bringing our planet to life throughout the digital representation of Earth.
Yeah, we call it the digital twin. And honestly, at Microsoft, we're so lucky. I feel so lucky. We have organizations like Bing Places, we used to be Bing Maps, Planetary Science. And we have partners like Maxa Imaging, Vexel. We now have 500 cities photogrammetry. That's like 3 to 10 centimeter resolution, so crazy good. And typically when we come to Gamescom, we're really thoughtful, like what should we show? In the last years, we always brought Germany, it was obviously a focus, Switzerland, Austria. And this year we thought, why not go above the Alps? You know, it's summer, it's warm. Italy is beautiful. So here it is, City Update 16, Italy.
I mean, I'm definitely excited to be back at Gamescom, but boy, do I want to go to Italy right about now. How about it, York? You coming with me?
I'm ready. Let's go. Let's go to the beach. No, I'm seriously. I've been to northern
Settle
Italy.
down, York.
I've been to northern Italy, like Bolzano, which we call Bozen, the Dolomites. But I've never been to San Marino. I've never been to Sardinia, Sicily. I'm super excited that people can go explore these places now. And this is also launching right now, at 2020 and 2024.
Wow, how exciting both. We can go and explore. Amazing. Now, York, that's a lot of aviation already, but you said you had maybe another announcement for us?
Yes, and this one is personal. So like, for a few years now, we've tried to find a partnership with Lufthansa, which is the German flag carrier airline. And after all these years, I'm so happy to announce that we now have a relationship with Lufthansa. We're bringing the livery to the sim. And what's really perfect about this, Lufthansa is celebrating its 100th anniversary this year. They made a special livery on some of their fleet, the 100-year anniversary livery, and we're bringing that also to Flight Sim. Makes me so happy, I can't tell you.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Aw. Now, would you like to take a look at that? Would you like to show us maybe?
Yes, we have a little quick trailer.
Let's do it. York, that looks absolutely gorgeous. I love the livery. I can't wait to fly them as well. And congratulations again for that partnership. I love that. That's personal for you and to the team.
It's a match made in heaven.
Oh, fantastic. Love to hear it. Now, York, before we let you go, I have a little challenge for you.
Okay.
You are head of Microsoft Flight Simulator, so I would like to hear how many planes you can name in 30 seconds. Are you up for it?
Okay.
Okay, let's
Planes?
get that timer starting. And now.
All right. Cessna 170, 172, 175, 180, 182, 185, 190, 195, 206, 207, Boeing 707, Boeing 717, 27, 37, 47, 57, 67, 77, 87, Airbus 220, 220, 319, 320, 321, 330, 340, 350, 380, and then X1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Enough. Well done, York.
X-planes.
I'm going to say that was like at least 1 million planes. So well done.
I don't know. I want to count.
Okay, we'll review it in post. York, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for bringing so much for us to enjoy and joining us into this excursion into the world of aviation.
Thank you so much. It's great to see you.
Great to see you. Have a great Gamescom. But for you guys here, these 4 days in August, Cologne is...
These are just numbers, cheater. Well, it's probably how he has them categorized in his head. He goes to one of them like a Cessna, and then he knows all of them, which is impressive. Like, to know all those numbers, right? He, you know, if he would have gone Cessna, Boeing, like through just the actual archetypes, that could have been cool too.
That could change your life. The ones who have gone inside have been pretty silent through the years. But you are different, aren't you? So, eat as well as you can. After all, you never know which meal will be your last.
Another co-op? What? Hey. We're not going to start complaining about co-op, okay? You're going to play Deep Dish Dungeon and you're going to like it, right? Shut the frick up. We want more co-op games.
Every darkened corner is a tombstone.
Oh my gosh!
Tell me, do you think I'm chasing a false path?
Coslop? Okay, shut up. You shut up. Demons. Await. January 7th. Oh, that's what they're waiting for. I wonder if it's their birthday. Armatus. I said it better than her.
Now.
Wish list now. What is it now? Blueprints? More blueprints? Hello. I'm looking to enter a bit of an adventure. Oh, gosh. It's got bad gas. Gee, Christmas, bro. Just crop dust and demons.
Let me once again welcome you to Blake Manor.
Investigate the manor.
Tomorrow night, when the veil is finished, we will speak directly with one of the dead.
Why did you let it happen? Well then, Mr. Ward, welcome to the Grand Seance. I hope whatever you are looking for, you find it here.
The Seance of Blake Manor.
Hey, survivors.
Hey.
The Heart of Daisy Badlands is Nazdara.
Okay.
A 267 kilometer squared arid borderland, layered
Got
with
it.
proud regional history, geopolitical intrigue, and countless stories waiting to be told.
Okay.
Most importantly, your story. But instead of being just survivors stranded on the coast, we now expect you to become nomads, mercenaries, and local to know the lay of the land. In short, you are expected to be more experienced, hardened, and shrewd. However, our motto, "This is your story," is still very much in effect. That means we still expect you to approach it in your own way and pace. You will lead your own story, by dying a lot. At first, this might happen because of prolonged exposure to the sun or extreme dehydration, since standing water is scarce in Nazdara. But you know what you are doing. You will search for regional clothing with low insulation, keep yourself in the shade, and maybe even team up with another player to restore a broken down well so you can share the water. And then they can betray you. Let's say you have the basics of survival figured out. You found some decent gear, interesting food and drinks to keep you going, a friendly companion to travel with, and motorcycles that can take you farther than you've ever gone before. Anyhow, at this point you will want to upgrade to better gear and find stronger protection. You'll have multiple points of interest to choose from, like these examples. But of course, these areas will also attract other players, meaning there's always a risk of getting killed on sight. But there's a less risky and more interesting option. For this, we suggest picking up a personal radio. These are no longer just tools for long-distance communication, they can now receive transmissions that you'll need to decode yourselves. It may be worth investigating the locations they lead you to across the land where valuable loot awaits. We won't leave you high and dry, as you'll find resources to help you decode the messages. So, now that you have all the loot you need and more, how do you store it safely? You will be able to rebuild and barricade some of the houses found throughout Nazdara. Whether it is a single room or an entire building, there will be plenty of options to choose from, as long as you can gather the necessary materials for your reconstruction project. And most importantly, shelter is a necessity when it comes to keeping you and your squad safe, especially during a certain event, when all you can do is hunker down, wait it out, and hope it passes. Of course, these are only a few possible lives. As always, this is your story, and we can't wait to see them all. See you in the Badlands on October 15th, survivors.
Oh, it's a DayZ thing. I missed that.
November 15th, 2001. A new console, a green logo. It was called the Xbox. And it's now been 25 years, so hey, let's celebrate. And there's no better way than with new accessories and a lot of green. And I'm here with Scott Weber, Senior Hardware PM Lead Design for Xbox. And Scott, tell us a little bit about all this amazing collection.
Yeah, we've got a lot of really cool stuff here. So we worked with all of our hardware partners that designed for Xbox to put a collection of products together inspired by 25 years of Xbox. Translucent green, we've gone from audio, keyboard, and mouse, all the way down to a blind box mobile controller there from Backbone with 3 colorways inspired by the original consoles. And the you'll see the little halo in there, maybe a blue for the Japan exclusive. Very cool.
That's right, they're so sick. And like you said, you've got a good spread for all kinds of gaming experiences. I mean, players love using a black Razer mouse. That's a pretty classic.
Sure.
But I see we've gone for a splash of green here. So green is the new black. Tell us a bit about the Basilisk.
Absolutely. I mean, the highest quality stuff you can get, amazing polling rate, everything you'd expect from Razer. 75% size keyboard is also really cool, very popular right now. People are liking a little bit more tight and compact for their gaming setup, so super excited about these.
These are super sick. And you've even got, I think, your own Xbox key on it as well if you wanted to swap it out.
That's right. Yeah, you can pop that, and the game bar comes right up. It's a really nice feature, so when you're gaming, that's specifically bound to that, and you can have all your socials right there, chat with all your friends, whatever else you need to do, manage your captures.
Hell yeah, I do a lot of capture. I'm not saying the gameplay's good, but I'm capturing at least.
Perfect. Yeah,
we've also got some hammerheads as well, again in that same kind of translucent green. Yes, it's really sick. What's the deal with the hyperspeed hammerheads?
These are so cool, right? So for a long time we'd had requests for earbuds for console, right? And we never had the ability to do these. Now in this translucent green, this is actually something that connects directly to your console. So you still want to use these for on the go, you want to use them on your PC, that's great. But you can connect these directly to your console and get, latency-free 2.4 gigahertz sound.
Nice.
Perfect.
So it uses Xbox Wireless Protocol?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Very cool. It's just a little dongle that plugs into the back and you're good to go.
Really nice. And then what about when it's time to charge your controller? Because, I mean, I'm hoping to pick up one of the new Xbox 25th anniversary controllers. Yes. Can I charge that thing up with anything nice?
Yes, that 8-bit DO charger right there is so cool. It perfectly matches the design, right?
Yeah.
So we've worked with our team, industrial design team, to make sure that we have sort of a seamless experience that goes all the way through. It's the perfect way to display your very special controller, which we know is already a hot ticket item.
So sick. We were speaking to Carl Ledbetter yesterday about the design of the X25 console and how much went into getting the right kind of the green. Yes. Is it the same process for the charging stand as well?
Yes, absolutely. We worked very closely with Carl's team to ensure that whatever's done from a first-party standpoint, our third parties are able to take advantage of the same thing. So it's a whole process of color matching and back and forth samples being sent, and Carl's always been a wonderful support in that.
I love that team collaboration. Yeah. And then in terms of if I wanted to bundle all these together, maybe to take them home with me right now, is there anything else that's pretty handy for that?
Power Sling Bag right here. Not only is this great for just stuffing whatever in, but it's actually a perfect fit for the Ally as well. So Ally is right behind us. That fits in there perfectly. There's room for a controller up here too. So it's just kind of a handy thing. If you were at FanFest last night, you might have walked away with one. So we're excited for everybody to get their hands on this.
Well, while you're just packing this all away for me in one of those so I can go home with that, thank you so much. But we're actually going to head over now to Charlie with the latest on the next installment of the Dragon's Dogma franchise.
The Dragon's Dogma community has been eagerly awaiting the newest expansion, Dragon's Dogma 2 Dark Arisen, since it was announced earlier this summer. Well, get ready, because it's time to check out the latest gameplay right from our stage. Joining me now, Dragon's Dogma 2 Dark Arisen producer Yoshiaki Hirabayashi and director Kento Kinoshita, along with interpreter Patrick Shields. Welcome to Gamescom, everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us. So, what I want to ask first, we're going to dive straight into the demo, and we're going to be focusing on this fallen dragon encounter we see here. So why was this quest considered the one you wanted to show off, and why is it the best way to showcase what players can experience in this new region?
今回遊んでもらう利害の竜のクエストはなぜデモ版に入れたくて入れたんですか？どのような体験をユーザーに提供したかったんでしょうか？
はい、今回ドラゴンズドグマ2ダークアリズンのノルガンの冒険においてプレイヤーが初めて出会う脅威のエネミーなので、それを体験していただきたくてこのシーンに切り出しています。
She nailed those names. She's a professional, man. She's been doing this a long time. She's great. I like Charlie.
The region of Norgan, so I just wanted to get straight to the point and let anyone who's trying out this demo discover just how tough it is.
Love that. Let's dive right in And I want to pick up on the setting as we're going into the game as well. So you mentioned this like snow blanketed area as well. So when we see these mountains and this landscape that you've generated, what did the team want to create with this new region, and what impression did you want to make on players for the very first time? I mean, look at that.
このように美しく雪に包まれた雪の国ですけど、プレイヤーにどういう印象を与えたくて、どういうコンセプトがあってこのモチーフの地域にしたのでしょうか。
はい、本編とは違う新しい体験を皆さんに楽しんでいただきたくて、こういった本編にはなかった雪に包まれた大地で遊んでもらいたいと思って、そこをコンセプトにしました。
The concept was really something completely different from the base Dragon's Dogma 2 game. We've never seen such a frozen wasteland in the context of this game, and this icy region I thought would just completely refresh the Dragon's Dogma 2 experience in players' eyes.
Absolutely. We're straight into the combat as well. There we go. It's worth mentioning as well that pawns are a really important system to the Dragon's Dogma franchise. So what role do they play as the player explores this new region of Norgan?
ポーンはやはりドラゴンズドグマならではの要素なので重要な USP だと思うんですけど、ノルガンではどういう役割を満たすのでしょうか。
はい、まず今回この今見えている砦に行きます。
So what we're doing right now is someone in the village settlement has asked us to go up to the fort that he just showed on the screen. There's some mysterious events going on, so we're going to go and check that out.
ポーンはクエストの目的地に連れて行ってくれますし、戦闘でもプレイヤーのことをたくさんサポートしてくれます。
The pawns are going to support us in a variety of different ways, not just combat support and lending a helping hand with these enemies, but they're actually going to show us the way to the stronghold.
At counter one. Sorry, I forgot to pause. I have to pause every 10 minutes.
Your items as well. That's why we're glowing here. Yes.
今炎に包まれているのはポーンがその炎属性をキャストしてくれたおかげなんですね。
はい。ポーンがプレイヤーに炎のギフトをくれました。
Exactly. They've granted you the gift of fire just in time for the ICN.
Thank you, Nova Hands, for your Prime sub, getting us to 228. Welcome back, sir.
Been added, right? A new way to initiate conversation and interactions with pawns.
今回新しく追加されている自分からポーンに指示できる要素があると聞いたんですけど、何なんでしょうか。
はい、命令を追加してまして、エクスプロアっていう探索をしなさいという命令だったり、近くに来てハイタッチをしようっていう命令が追加されています。
Yeah, we've added the explore command, which will command your pawns to check out the area and see if they can find anything. And also, for the first time, you can actually suggest to the pawn, let's do a high five. This is something that was previously only organic, but now you can make it happen yourself.
Can we make a high five happen?
じゃあぜひハイタッチを命令してください。
High five!
今まだ戦ってるんでもうちょっと後でやります。
They're right in the middle of the battle, so maybe I'll leave them to it and get
Oh, fine. You owe me a high five, though, okay? Could you tell us a little bit more about the design philosophy as well behind these? I mean, these really unique combat encounters. We just saw that the environment when you walked through that pillar there landed on someone too. So it's a pretty unique way you can fight through this universe.
こういうつららですとか、雪の氷の国ならではのギミックもあると思うんですけど、その辺のデザインのフィロソフィーとコンセプトについて教えてください。
そうですね。本編になかったこの地形を使ったりギミックを使った体験を大事にして、戦う以外の戦術としてこういった要素が楽しめるように作っています。このつららに敵を刺したりすることもできます。
Yeah, as you pointed out, things like these spiky ice spikes and icicles. I didn't want the frozen waste to just be a visual effect. It's really something that is part of the environment, and you can use these traps and gimmicks to fight enemies any way you wish. So it adds a certain extra level of strategic combat nuance that you couldn't find in the other regions.
Wonderful, I love that. Oh, we found a spooky cave. I think so. I wanted to actually tap in on something. I think when you open the chest, if my memory serves, yes, there we go. Spoils are a really important element when it comes to players' progression and adventure. So how does this experience compare with a traditional loot system?
従来通りの、宝箱を開けてルートをもらうシステムと、今回の遺産品を入手して鑑定するシステムはどのような違いがあるのでしょうか。
今回この遺産品は戦闘の中で敵を倒しても手に入りますし、さっきみたいに探索でも手に入ることができます。
Firstly, the relic system is not limited to combat. As we saw, you'll be able to discover little nooks and crannies throughout the map, and you can find relics in hidden treasure boxes. So there's a variety of ways to get them.
Yes, you do. Sorry.
これは鑑定することで、どのような武器か防具が手に入るようになります。
Deeply unserious gameplay here.
Anyway, back to the relics.
Wait, is that a snowball? What is going on?
Yeah, so once you get the relics, you're going to want to go back to the settlement, and by appraising them, you can discover exactly what spoils you've received and what kind of weapon or armor you got.
I see, fantastic. I also noticed as well, so many things just went on there, but I want to go back to when you were walking up the hill just then. The player was sort of shielding himself from the weather. I'm assuming that's something that's unique to this area that we've not seen before.
今いろんなことが同時に起こってたと思うんですけど、確かに毛布武器に向けてプレイヤーキャラクターが手を上げて耐えてる演出があったんですけど、その辺のちょっとゲームプレイの要素について、仕様について教えてもらえますか？
はい、このフィールドならではの風向きがあるんですね。で、風向きの向いてる方に向かい風の場合はもう寒いんで手を当てて。ちょっと動きが遅くなったりする演出が入っています。逆に追い風になるとプレイヤーは早く動いたり遠くまでジャンプができます。
Yeah, this wind system is not just about the fact that it's freezing cold. You actually have to work with or against the wind direction. So at times whenever he's holding his hand up, that means he's walking into the wind and it's going to slow down your progress and make you colder. But if you're going in the opposite direction, actually having the wind at your back can be a benefit and it can make you move faster.
He's snowballs. He's a menace. Tell him he's a menace.
意地悪なんですね、遊び方が。
いや、紹介ですよ。
All I want to do is show you the features.
Oh, thank you. Just crazy features. Also, am I right in saying that this is kind of a weird place to be encountering ghouls? Is this hinting at something else that's maybe wrong with the area?
このような設定にグールっていう敵がいるのはなんかちょっと違和感を感じますけど、それなんかのヒントになってたりするんでしょうか？
そうですね。本来このノルガンという土地にはグールのような魔物はいなかったんです。でも、村の小集落にいる NPC のドリたちから、この砦で異変が起きてるから調べてくれと言われてここに来ているので、その中で今グールに出会って何か異変が起きているという状況です。
Exactly. The reason we've come up to this fort is because the people in the village have told us something strange is going on up here. We've never seen these kind of undead creatures, so we want you to go and investigate. And really, there shouldn't be ghouls up here in the icy waste of Norgan. So we're going to have to find out what the source of this infestation is.
Absolutely. And the best way to figure that out is another new feature you guys have added, which is 6 skill slots you have now. So 2 brand new ones. So why was that addition important for players in this update?
今探索と戦闘している間に、確かに武器のスキルが、4つから6つセットできるようになっている状況でのプレイなんですけど、なぜそういうふうに仕様を変更したのでしょうか？
はい、ユーザーの皆さんからいろいろお声をいただいて、戦闘は楽しいんだけれども、もう少しカスタムスキルをセットしたいんだというご要望もたくさんいただいたので、カスタムスキルのセット数を4から6に増やしています。
The increase in the skill slots was really a response to player feedback. As you said, it was only 4 slots in the base game, and we heard from a lot of players that while they loved the combat action of the game, they just felt a little bit limited in terms of their toolset variety. So boosting that up to 6 slots, I think, just gives you so many more options at a given time, and
Everyone wants to do more.
Yeah, it gives you extra depth to your gameplay.
こちらのカスタムスキルが4から6になるのは、9月の2日に予定しているタイトルアップデートで、すでにもうドラゴンドグマ2本体の方で体験することが可能です。
This isn't a DLC exclusive feature though. We're adding in the extra skill slots in the update, which we've just announced this morning is coming on 2nd of September European time, 1st of September Pacific time. You'll be able to update your base Dragon's Dogma 2 game and enjoy that extra 2 skill slots, even if you haven't yet got into Dark Arisen.
Fantastic news. Feels like Christmas. What a gift.
嬉しいプレゼントなんですね。
I'm wondering, do you have any favorite class types to fight as, or anyone that you guys tend to roll with immediately?
テストプレイとかプライベートでも好んで選ぶジョブとかありますでしょうか？
僕はファイターのスラッシュ&ボードの遊び方が好きなので、よくこのファイターを選んで遊んでいます。
I believe simple is best, so I stick to the fighter. You know, they call it sword and board gameplay, and that suits me perfectly, so I stick with the fighter usually.
Amazing. What's that? I'm gonna guess that's the fallen dragon we saw at the beginning.
これは一体何でしょうか？利害の竜という存在だったりするのでしょうか？
Why does he have like a man face? That's
目玉となるボスバトルが始まります。
Yeah, this is the key centerpiece of this quest. It's the battle with the fallen dragon.
It's got a really, how do I say this as a compliment? That's a really horrible looking dragon. And I'm going to guess the ghouls are connected to him in some way because he's spitting them up.
この不気味な要素からすると、おそらくグールの存在に関連している存在なんですね。
そうなんです。
まあ今まさしく喋ってる間に吐き出しましたし、
グールを吐き出して、グールも迫ってきますし、このドラゴンとも戦わなきゃいけない、非常に危機の楽しめるシチュエーションです。
Exactly. While you were asking, he literally puked up those ghouls.
Yeah.
So they're question asked, question answered.
There you go.
So they're going to add a little bit of extra spice to this boss battle. You're not just taking on this huge dragon, but you have this crowd of ghouls to try and manage as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. And clearly, you can see from the screen right here, if anyone hasn't played any Dragon's Dogma gameplay, that health bar is pretty monstrous. So we know that this dragon is an immense threat to this region. So why was he the best one to show off for this experience? Is it because he was big, mean, ugly, and difficult, or was there another reason?
まあ HP ゲージとドット数からすると相当手強い敵だと思うんですけど、あえてこの高難易度の敵をデモのクエストとして選びたかったのでしょうか。チャレンジングな内容ということをアピールしているものでしょうか。
あ、そうですね。チャレンジングな内容もアピールできたらいいと思ってたんですけれども、いいと思ってるんですけれども、それ以上にこのノルガンのストーリーに対して重要なドラゴンだから紹介したくてシーンに入れています。
That's certainly one aspect, showing you that there's really meaty challenge awaiting you in Dark Arisen, but also the Fallen Dragon is really a key puzzle piece to the game's storyline. So I wanted to choose a quest where people can get an experience of what awaits them in the story as well.
Why is he moving like that, though?
He's crawling all over his head now. I mean, it's amazing gameplay. I absolutely love it. And it's so good to see a battle with a dragon because it's such a defining feature of the series. So can you tell us some more maybe memorable moments we can expect from this combat encounter?
まあ今回のボス戦は今頭に登ったりしてると思うんですけど。
They're gonna have to smooth some of that over. He was moving like an animatronic or something. It seemed like it was kind of glitching.
はい、これからもう少し頑張って心臓がないんです。
I'm going to keep trying to take him down, and you'll probably see some changes as the fight progresses. But it's quite easy to notice right now that this dragon actually has no heart in its chest. There's a hollow hole.
Wow, that's the blue that we're seeing. It also doesn't have a head anymore.
はい、またこのように頭を壊してもまだ動くのです。
He may have lost his head, but he's gonna not just die instantly. So don't worry, the battle isn't over.
The health bar's going isn't a sign of good things. There's actually more work
HP ゲージが効
to do.
いたのはもう終わってるっていうわけではないんです。
そうなんです。
Yeah, still not over.
Oh no. And the health bar is completely back.
もう完全に回復したじゃないですか。HP ゲージ。
はい。
And so are all the ads.
そうです。まだグール入ってきますし、まだ動くので、プレイヤーはどうやったら倒せるのかを探して戦うことが。
Yeah, you quickly realize that even if a heading won't do it, and also the ghoul puking is back. So at this point, the player is thinking, how am I going to beat this thing?
Absolutely, 100%. He's lost an arm now as well. I'm going to guess now's a really bad time to ask the pawns to high five, right?
この間でハイタッチするのはさすがにタイミング悪いんですよ。
危険です。
It's too dangerous.
はい、そして今壊した部位を再生しました。不死の竜なんです。
Well, it's kind of an undead dragon essentially.
Yeah,
so some of the parts that we've cut off are starting to regenerate as well. So it's pretty tough.
So does that mean you need to change up your strategy in fighting this, or is this maybe a lost battle to begin with?
もう戦略を変えるべきなのか、もはや諦めることなのでしょうか。
そうですね。物語を通してこのドラゴンを倒す方法を探さなくてはなりません。
Through the course of the storyline, you're going to have to realize, taking on board that you couldn't beat it this first time, you need to find a way to slay this dragon, and that's going to be the centerpiece of the story.
Wow, okay. I mean, you've really put a nail in the coffin there. There's no way you're going to come back from that.
ですが、ここでもう一人キャラクターが登場します。
Well, just whenever we thought things were lost, we're going to find some support from a surprising source.
Ah, this mysterious woman. Am I allowed to know who this is?
この謎に包まれた女性の存在について何か教えてもらえることはありますか？
どうぞ。ここからは、この女性がどういうふうにこの竜と自分と関わるのかは、ぜひゲームプレイを通して楽しんでいただきたいんです。
Well, I would love to spill all the secrets right now, but I really want everyone to enjoy the game, so I'm going to leave it for you to find out when you get your hands on Dark Arisen.
Fair enough. I can't ask for anything more. So let's recap everything that we spoke about today. So there's new environments, new exploration mechanics, spoil system, narrative mysteries, but what do you think will surprise long-time Dragon Dogma fans most when they first set foot in this region?
今回新しいエリアや戦闘コンバットでできることをいろいろ紹介してもらったと思うんですけど、ドラゴンズドグマの既存ファンが一番驚く新要素は何だと思いますか？
一番驚く新要素はいくつもあるんですけれども、ちょっと今日ご紹介したい内容としては、今まで本編にもなかったんですけれども、このレリックを集めるために、小集落にいる狼を連れて、レリックを探せることがチャームポイントになってます。
I think players will be surprised and delighted by a lot of the new features, but if I had to pick one, I would say that we showed you getting relics through combat and also through finding them in little parts of the map, but there's another way you can get them, which is in the settlement. There's actually a wolf who, if you befriend the wolf by feeding it, it'll bring you out into the world and discover relics for you. So it's a brand new companion and another way to find relics.
I love that. That sounds fantastic. Well, I have one final question before we go. We couldn't get to see a high five in the game, but can I maybe have a high five here today? Is that okay?
最後になかなかゲームではできなかったハイタッチをもうリアルでここでできませんか？
Amazing! High five! Thank you so much. Thank you. Patrick, bring it in. Thank you so much. Well, have an amazing Gamescom. Thank you so much for joining us today. And coming up next, the team from Infinity Ward stops by to talk Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 and what we can expect from the beta. And we also take a trip to the Call of Duty booth experience to find out what fans are getting their hands on throughout the show. But first, get out your whip sword. This is Son of Tanjai.
எங்கிருந்தாலும் வருவேன். உயிரோடு மட்டும் இரு. தப்பான இடத்துக்கு வந்துட்ட தம்பி. எப்படி சாக வேண்டும்? வலியில் துடித்தா வலி இல்லாமலா? கள்ளு கடைக்கு போகலாம் காலா. குடிக்க அல்ல, முடிக்க.
கடவுச்சொல். If you guys are enjoying hanging out today, we will be switching gears to a GTA 6 extended look waiting room in about 30 minutes. We'll hang out for a couple of hours, and then we will be able to watch it and react to it live. Do me a quick favor, if you've enjoyed hanging out today, make sure you've hit the like button. Try to get us to 300 likes. I am pausing the interruptions, the ads that pop up, so that we can just enjoy the live show together. If you appreciate that, wow. You can show some support to the channel in a variety of ways. Thank you guys so much for doing that. That looked pretty interesting, honestly. Like a violent stealth game.
The tower filled with horrors.
Yes, they officially announced that we can stream it. They said yesterday we could be able to like post our live reactions or whatever. The only thing they want people to not do is just straight up re-stream it or re-upload it. So as long as it's transformative, which means I will be periodically pausing it to add my own commentary just to avoid any detection that's like, oh, homie just straight up sat and watched it. I don't want to do that. We don't want to serve as just a straight up replacement for something that we know Netflix probably paid a lot of money for.
Some of them are.
Was that exclusive? I have no idea. Probably not.
Fight to be remembered.
They've showed a variety of trailers for multi-plat games during this, and they just won't show the other logos. I think they're requesting end cards for their events to not include the other games, so I don't think that was an exclusive. I mean, it could be, but there's been at least 3 games today they've shown with end cards that only look like they're Xbox games, Xbox and PC, and I know for a fact that they're multi-plats. So I'd have to look that one up, but it probably is a multi-plat.
Hi, I'm Min from Bonfire Studios. We're super excited to announce that Archeron is coming to consoles. We've been playtesting as a team for years. We've expanded it into PC, and now we're bringing our playtesting to Xbox. I'm here with Jeremy and Elliot, and we're going to talk to you about how much we love our game and why it's fun and different. So how would you describe Archeron to a friend?
I would describe it as like an isometric, ability-based, competitive PvP game.
Bang.
Use that one. There's more.
I'm out.
Get to the core of it. That's how I would describe it.
To someone who's never played the game before, how would we describe our combat?
Yeah, I would say the first thing is if you look at a screenshot or you watch a couple of videos of Archeron, you would guess how it plays, but you'd probably be wrong. I think the combat in general, it might look like an ARPG or something else like that, but it plays more like a shooter, which is why it's really perfect for a controller. I think that the combat itself is dynamic. The game sense really matters. Your combination, rotation of abilities really matter. Your aiming is very important, and then team play is super critical.
I think if players have a foundation in twin stick shooters, I think they're going to feel right at home playing Archeron on controller.
Yeah, I just looked up that game. Son of Thonjai is going to release on PS5, Xbox, and PC. It's a multi-plat game, like I said. I don't think Xbox is really getting third-party exclusives. 2 singles coming in from Risset gets us to 230. We are a 20 bomb away from the next milestone. We are a little behind pace, so today would be a good day to go crazy, especially during this stream in the GTA 6 waiting room and all of that. Help us grow the member base, help us grow the community, and another one comes in from Risset to get us to 231. So check your renewals. Zybersword renewed with his Prime, over there on Twitch. Thank you so much for supporting on Twitch and YouTube. And Zyber is going to drop a 5 bomb as well on Twitch and get us to 237. A little bit of a member train starting. Thank you guys so much for the continued support of what we do here every day. Make sure when you get a membership, you get into the Discord.
The turtle that I love playing the most right now probably is Hollow. She's just always been a playstyle that I really liked. Using the wall to separate the enemy, it's super fun. Being able to root somebody with the Sneklin special ability and that be the initiator is awesome. Then you kind of sit back and kind of range people down and support your team a little bit more.
You can start that way, and I would definitely encourage people to start that way if they find something that they like. But man, at least me personally, I love shattered builds. 2-2, give me 2-2 all day. Right. When you start memorizing what set bonuses are, you're like, infinite possibilities.
Yeah. We've got 2 different ways to play. Can you tell us a little bit about Spires?
Yeah, so Spires is an arena climb game mode, so it's 3v3. You get your items by purchasing them before you enter a best of 3 match, and you'll repeat that process. It's a super great way to learn items and get item familiarity and get repetitions with things that resonate with you.
I know, Elliot, you like Spires a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I like both game modes for different reasons, but I think Spires is a great way to kind of warm up to even get into Ascension. You know, like Jeremy said, this could be the nice way you start, and then you kind of graduate into that Ascension mode.
I think that's a good segue to jump into Ascension. So playing Spires, you're getting the reps, you're mastering combat.
Right.
Now you've learned that, you're jumping into Ascension. What's happening in there?
Yeah, so if Spires is all about player agency and selecting what you want and getting familiar with it and getting reps with the things that you're into, Ascension starts you with nothing. And there's 45 other players, 15 teams of 3. You all start with nothing. You need to loot on each floor, find your items, build your loadout, synergize with your team, and at some point, the beacons will call. You're kind of just building tension. Every beacon fight feels like the final fight of another larger scale multiplayer match. The top one has the added tension. And all right, this is for all the marbles.
You make it all the way to the top and you win that one. I just feel like that's just peak Archeron.
Yeah,
it's just how charged you feel when you win 4 fights in a row is just pretty nuts. So we've told you a lot about how fun Ascension is to play.
You say, I'm a little confused why you wouldn't shown Tomb Raider during Opening Night Live. Opening Night Live probably cost pretty good chunk of change to be included. I think that's one of the reasons it was very much dominated by NCSoft mobile MMO style games because they have lots of money to spend. So that'd be my guess because, Tomb Raider probably isn't looking to spend all that money on their marketing because it is a reimagining of the first game. I doubt they're looking to top sales charts to the degree that they want to spend that kind of marketing. I know those opening nights, those big stage events with Keeley are pretty expensive to be included in.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go.
Thank you so much for allowing us to share Archeron with you today. The game's coming to Xbox very soon in our cross-platform closed beta. We hope you'll join us there, and if you're interested, go to our website for more information. See you in the tower.
Welcome to the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 booth, where we've got 24 demo stations where players are getting the chance to go experience some thrilling 6v6 multiplayer matches. Weekend 1 of the open beta kicks off tomorrow, so we'll throw it to Benny, who is standing by with the team from an Infinity Ward, to tell us all the juicy details.
So, fresh off the early access beta weekend, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 is on the minds of many of us as one of the biggest games of the year. And here, with what fans can expect from the upcoming open beta, please welcome Infinity Ward's game technical designer, Jack Hoppus. Welcome.
How's it going? Good to see you, Benny.
How's your Gamescom been going so far?
Dude, it's incredible. The booths are insane. It's sick to see players playing Modern Warfare here. It's been a great time so far.
Yeah, and I want to start off with, because I know Infinity Ward really find community feedback important. You've been really working on doing that in the communication, that you did a tweet earlier today as well. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately throughout both weekends of this open beta, what we're looking to do is find the most feedback and, seeing what are pain points with players, but also what they're really resonating with. So we're doing a bunch of changes, fixing bugs, finding these pain points, these adjustments that we could be doing, and fixing them within beta weekend 1, but we also have a huge amount of changes for beta weekend 2. We're looking at touching everything from aim assist to movement to weapon balancing to spawns as well. We'll have a full list out at a later time, but we're really looking to hammer down these things for beta weekend 2 and ultimately up through launch. But it's been great. It's been exciting for us to hop in alongside the players, hop in kill block with them. We've got a lot of stuff for beta weekend 2 in terms of new content, Resurgence as well. There's going to be a huge amount of stuff for players to get into.
Yeah, how did nobody in production let this poor guy know he's got like a stray alpha spot? You know what I'm saying? He was probably wearing headphones or something. Like, come on, production. You got to help a brother out.
Surprised you about the beta from the closed weekend?
I mean, a lot of stuff, right? We got a lot of great feedback. I think what surprised us was, so we were doing COD Next, right? Yeah. We were about to get on stage at COD Next, and I hear in my ear, they're like, the first nuke has been achieved. Like,
I know.
They already got nuke in the beta.
Cammy got it.
Yeah. And I was like, it's so sick. I saw the clip. It was incredible. Also seeing players really hop into the mobility course has been super sick. We tried out a lot of different routes internally at the studio. We really hammered down on the mobility course as a way to test our new movement changes. And, devs were staying up late. They were screen recording their screens and, going back frame through frame on how they could best optimize it. And we thought we had a pretty good time, a pretty good route. And when the beta launched, we saw some of the routes that these players were taking and competing with each other. And it was incredible to see. It was, we watched back through some of the routes themselves. And what was interesting is the routes themselves weren't super different than what we were internally doing at the studio. But the adjustments and the, reloading, you're like, I already have to go down this ladder. Let me reload while I'm falling and then do a roll at the very end, or, go through this section a little bit quicker by some clever jumps and some clever mantles was super surprising and fun for us to see in the beta. So it's been really fun seeing it online.
Yeah, I was obsessed. I was trying to even knife switching, just make sure your melee is out, shaving every little thing if you can.
Exactly.
What was your fastest time?
Oof.
I felt like throwing you under a bus. I was like, fastest time.
I think we got in the low 40 seconds, I want to say. But we've been seeing sometimes online that
it's
we're like, how are you doing that? It's insane.
Yeah. Now, we've obviously got the open beta just around the corner.
Yep.
What can fans expect from that? What new features and modes are players going to get?
A lot. So you're going to be able to play Resurgence for the first time in the beta. So it's been great. You'll be able to play our new Resurgence map, Zodiac.
Yep.
This is something that we have designed in partnership with Beanox, and we've been playtesting a bunch. We're super excited to get a bunch of early Warzone Resurgence feedback. We've been having a great time on this. Oh, yeah. You see that?
This execution out of the sky. No more shooting people with pistols.
It looks rad, right? There's so many cool POIs on this map. We're super excited. We also have 2 new modes coming alongside 4MP. We've got Hijack, which is kind of this attack and defend tug-of-war style mode where you're fighting over this data spike in the middle of the map. trying to plant it on the enemy comm station and gain points for your team. We're super stoked with this. We built it with a competitive focus in mind. It's been getting sweaty at the studio. We're excited for players to get their hands on it.
Yeah, I've been in those like studio play tests. They get competitive.
Right?
Everyone's
Yeah.
shouting at each other from across the room.
Yeah.
Now with this mode as well, I just saw he just like threw it into someone like almost like a throwing knife
Yep.
as well.
Yeah, so you wield the spike, it actually takes up the spot of your lethal equipment, and you could either throw it onto the tower, the
Yep.
comms tower like you see right here, or you can walk it in. And if you're really in a pinch and you just need to get someone right away, you can throw it as a lethal, almost like a throwing knife, and bonk it off of them.
I can also see people throwing it across to each other's
Yep.
teammates, a bit like kind of like American football.
Yeah, exactly. And you saw in the clip maybe for a second there, you can actually shoot it out of the air as well. So if you're really clever and really quick on the sticks, you can actually snipe it out and block, playing almost defense for your team.
Oh, that's class. Another big thing that's changed gameplay with Modern Warfare 4, something new that we've seen, is Apex attachments.
Yep.
Can we talk a little bit more about those?
Yep. So Apex attachments are the final unlock in your weapon progression journey, and these completely change the way that the gun plays. So here you can see for the ISO, it's got these laser-tipped or like kind of these RFID chips inside of the ammo that once you shoot a target, you can locate them through walls. Here you see the harpoon for one of our marksman rifles. You can see, what do we got here?
It's the M4 Hurricane, right?
That's not me. That's them.
You can see, what do we got here?
It's the M4 Hurricane, right? Is that the M4? It looks like it.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah. So we've got a bunch of,
this is amazing when you like kind of like...
These are insane. These are the throwing knives on the side of the Oris. So if you're in a pinch or you're in these kind of close quarters combat, you can use these as a quick maneuver. For the PPSH, we've got a bunch of really sick Apex attachments to show off. And you want to know a little hack?
Yeah,
I'll show you a little hack.
I always love hacks.
Also, these are sick. Hack is you could actually, if you're playing gunfight, a bunch of our loadouts include the Apex attachments for the weapons. So if you want a sneak peek of them, just queue up some gunfight and you'll be able to play.
Give them a little go. Give them a go.
Before reaching the max level.
Yeah,
so,
that's the hard thing, because like working way through. And like I really liked one of the features when you rank up weapons in multiplayer, that some of the attachments will also unlock on the other guns.
Yep. So we really wanted to streamline the weapon progression journey this time around and have it be incredibly satisfying where, hey, I already unlocked this attachment on my M4 and I'm leveling up a different rifle.
Yeah.
Why do I need to unlock it again? We're just going to let you skip that level and go right on to the next one, making, that first level up, unlock a bunch of attachments, and then progressive weapons down the line, you'll be skipping levels left and right.
Now, multiplayer is obviously such a huge part of Call of Duty, and Modern Warfare 4 is really trying to advance that. Can you tell us sort of more of the vision for Modern Warfare 4 and what innovations that we can expect?
Yeah. I mean, overall, our vision with multiplayer for this game was to make you feel like you are having the most fluid, grounded experience that you can in a Call of Duty game. With this means that we never want you to feel like you're stuck in an animation or you can't do something. We never want the game to tell you no, right?
Yeah.
So you could see this in moments like our new mantling system. Previously, mantling used to kind of be this animation where you felt like you were lumbering over a surface. And now, you can mantle into a slide. You can mantle ADS. You can actually cancel your mantle as well, getting out of it early if you see something and you want to bail out of it early. So our philosophy with multiplayer this time around is to give you the most freedom that we ever have and have it be the most fluid, grounded, and really polished multiplayer experience that we've had to date. And a lot of that comes with feedback from the community, right? Like what we've been doing with the open beta or with the early access beta last weekend and the open beta this weekend is to really see what players love and what we can really polish upon for launch. So that's really been our guiding light, is following what we find to be is true and listening to the community as well.
Yeah, I think it goes back, like the community sending feedback, kind of making those changes, and also getting in the mobility course so you can like perfect that movement. It really does help.
Yeah, we built it as a way for ourselves to test the movement, but we were having so much fun with it that we wanted to get it in the players' hands.
It's such a fun thing to do because you like try to shave all those times off. But talking about the fun things to do, there's some players.
Like, the gunplay looks really good. It always looks like they've improved the gunplay, like the way the guns handle and the way the guns shoot, like the player feedback. I think the streamlining of, like, the unlocks and upgrades is probably a big win for people because I know they really went wrong with that the one time where it was like, it just made no logical sense and it was very tedious. I just think you're just going to continue to run aground with the idea of a meat grinder arena shooter. I just don't think you're going to hold a lot of people's attention for very long. It turns into, the spawn system gets manipulated, skill-based matchmaking, it's a choke point meat grinder. I don't know. Like, I just think a lot of people have gone far enough with this game that they don't really want to go back ever again. And I know Warzone's got a lot of players, but the more stripped down arena style just gets old. Like, these larger scale battles like this with vehicles and stuff I think can be really, really fun. But again, even that I think just gets long in the tooth really quickly. I hope people buy it and enjoy it, but I don't see anything here that would ever make me change my mind about Call of Duty or arena shooters.
This has been a lot of fun. It's played on this large scale combat. It's been a great experience.
It's also, the map looks amazing because of course, super excited for the big map experience later on. And just this is the first opportunity people are going to have with that map with Hajin. So it's great to see. Also, spawns.
Yeah,
I really want to touch on this because it's such an important part of Call of Duty and your playing experience. Can you tell us the approach for that with Modern Warfare 4?
I mean, we've gotten a great amount of feedback from the beta, and it's clear that some of our spawns need tuning. So this varies from mode to mode, but what I can say is that we've been in there with you guys in the beta. We are looking at more than just the data. We're looking at the feedback. We're playtesting a bunch at the studio right now, and we've got fixes incoming for spawns, and it's definitely something at the very top of our priority list to work alongside the players, to feel it with you guys, be in the playtests. And it's something that I can tell you right now, we're definitely working as we speak at the studio to make sure that this is perfect, not only for beta weekend 2, but for launch as well. It's definitely something that we are going to continue to work on.
Yeah, I'm really excited. And I know you guys play an absolute ton. Like you were saying, we were chatting earlier, you've played over 16 hours in a day already.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm super excited. I just want to say a big thank you because
thank you, Chrono, for the raid, bringing all your people over.
Flash. It's great.
You can see all the fans queuing up, playing, getting the experience, and seeing what we have on offer. What's one thing as well that you're most excited about with Beta Weekend 2 coming up for players?
We got fun new maps coming in. We got Lithium, which is a new 6v6 map, which I love. I'm excited to welcome in more players into the beta itself. We're gonna have a huge suite of players jumping alongside with us. Players will get to play the campaign again as well. That mission is incredible. It really sets the tone for the story and the cast of characters that we really want to show off. And honestly, just hopping in alongside with you guys, it's going to be, we at the studio, we're hearing this feedback, we're gathering it all, but we're also playing alongside you guys, which has been great.
Yeah, I'm just determined to try and get a nuke at some point this weekend. Because like you said, Cammy dropped the first one during COD Next, which was insane.
It was insane, I'm telling you.
You got any tips? You got any tips on how players can go ahead and get that nuke?
I don't know. Just be coordinated. Don't play too risky, if you want to get that nuke. But we saw it at COD Next. We saw it way earlier than I thought we were going to see it.
It happens.
It's incredible.
I'm excited because obviously Ghost is going to be available with the beta weekend too. That might help with the UAVs. So I'm excited.
Yeah, they're going to reach 10 new levels as well. You're going to level up to level 30. New perks, new field upgrades, new equipment, new kill streaks, new stuff for player progression. So hit that level 30 as well, and there's a lot of fun stuff for you to play.
There's so much. You've got multiplayer, Resurgence. You've got the big map,
kill block, single player.
Campaign.
Got a lot of stuff. Yep.
It's got to be the biggest beta ever. But Jack, honestly, thank you so much for coming and talking to us. I really enjoyed it. I'm really excited for the weekend. And make sure you get involved as well. But thank you so much, Jack.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, today we've seen the future of gaming, from horror to racing, from sims to first-person shooters, and everything in between. And there is a ton to look forward to, including more than 15 titles available on Xbox Game Pass. Plus, with the biggest games coming to Xbox, like Minecraft Dungeons 2, Gears of War E-Day, EA Sports FC 27, NBA 2K 27, Fable, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, and Grand Theft Auto 6. No matter where or how you game, the best place to play is on Xbox. Now to a psychological survival horror game with a unique retro look and feel. Fight and survive against the ominous presence slowly consuming this 90s Polish town. This is Holston.
Wczoraj przyszedł faks. To jest głębsze niż ubojnia. Większe niż nowa trójca. Znów mu odjebało. Ktoś tu jest? Halo?
W trójcy jedyny na przebłaganie.
Potem zaczęły się schody. Znaleźć Bartka i przekonać go, żeby porzucił swoje śledztwo. Wiem, jak wielu przyszedłeś. To w tobie jest paskudna skaza. Musisz się z nim zobaczyć? To, czego potrzebujemy i to, czego chcemy, to dwie różne rzeczy. Może chcesz go zobaczyć, ale tak naprawdę potrzebujesz, żeby zniknął.
Hello guys, today I'm excited to share a closer look at Tides of Annihilation through our first hands-on demo and the story trailer at Gamescom. At the heart of Tides of Annihilation is our dual frontline battle system. Gwen does not fight alone. She can call on different knights, each with their own fighting style and role. In our first hands-on demo, players can try 5 knights in 8 different combinations. Each setup pairs a main knight with a sub-knight, and different pairings change how you fight.
Oh, okay.
Try this.
For example, Palamedes focuses on powerful charge attacks, while Kay, the Time Knight, can freeze enemies and control the pace of the battle. Together, they create a simple flow, freeze an enemy, create an opening, then land a heavy strike. Other pairings offer longer combos, more mobility, more control, or bigger burst damage. Our goal is to let players find the combinations that fits them best.
Try
I will admit that for a while, anytime we saw this game, there were lots of performance issues. I'm not sure what they did. I continue to feel like the lighting has been dumbed down, like it's a little bit more muted and flat, which I think is fine because the performance looks to be so much more consistent now. Like those fights all looked really, really good. I don't know why somebody in chat is saying that you can already tell this game stinks. I'm not. If you're talking about Tides of Annihilation, I'm not sure why you would say that. I think it looks great.
This makes exploration feel more active, while staying true to what makes each night unique. And as players progress through the full game, they will discover more knights and more ways to use their abilities, with each one bringing something new to both combat and exploration. While the knights are a big part of Tides of Annihilation,
she said bigger burst damage.
Our latest story trailer at Opening Night Live shows an earlier side of her, before she becomes the fighter players meet in the game. At this point, Gwen has just been separated from her sister and thrown into a world consumed by the fog. She's not trying to save the world, she just wants to survive and find her sister. That changes when Guinevere tells her that she carries the power of King Arthur and may be able to command both the fog and the knights.
But if you wish to reclaim London, you must harness the fog.
Her words, "teach me," mark the moment she decided to step forward. By the time players meet Gwen, she is already stronger and more determined. but her journey is only beginning. For our Gamescom demo, we wanted to show how modern London and the world of Avalon can exist side by side. The Great Russell Museum is a good example. We start with a place that feels real and familiar, and then slowly bring fantasy into it. As players move through the museum, they begin to see that change. Vines grow from the building, broken knight's armor fills the halls, and the world of myths starts to take over. We also expanded areas like Chinese, Egyptian, and Japanese galleries, while keeping the identity of each space.
Oh yeah, like you'll fight
Later,
Anubis.
places like the Book of the Dead folded.
You'll fight different like mythological creatures from where they are. Like, so when you go to the Egyptian part of the museum, you'll fight Anubis. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why they chose her for the narration. It's honestly hard to understand her, and I never want to be that way, but like she has a very, very thick accent, so it's very difficult to tell what she's saying sometimes. I'm not sure why they wouldn't have gotten just like a native English speaker if you're going to do the whole trailer with English narration.
Experience it. So I will say, see you at the tides.
See, Xbox must have requested final frames of these trailers to exclude PlayStation. That's something that PlayStation's always done. They've always done that. Like, if a multi-plat game shows up in their thing, they don't let the other platforms, be listed. I think it makes perfectly good sense. Another friend slop game.
There is also a hover pack over here.
I would like one of those.
This is insane teamwork. Good, isn't it?
Later, guys. If that reaches 0, it collapses.
I can't roll. You just threw that!
My head.
Oh no, I got benched!
Caravan, anyone?
No, let go.
One car, please. I want a bat, but not like as hot as...
All right, this should be coming to an end. Let's try to get to 300 likes before we shift gears. We'll be going over to a GTA 6 extended look waiting room. I can do a live stream reaction to the GTA 6 extended look on Netflix, so you'll be able to watch it through me. We cannot do a straight restream. We cannot do a straight re-upload, but as long as it's transformative, that does mean I will be pausing it and making my own comments here and there. So we will be doing that shortly.
Horizon, and with so many titles coming to Xbox Game Pass, it's only fitting to bring fans into the world of Game Pass with an interactive quest and one giant green button. The big green button here transforms the Xbox booth into an interactive quest powered by Xbox Game Pass. Attendees collect digital stamps by playing games, taking part in activities, and exploring partner activities around Gamescom. New this year, achievements unlock additional opportunities to win prizes, including Xbox collectibles, Game Pass swag, and partner rewards. The experience celebrates discovery, play, and of course, the Xbox community. Of the many, many prizes that lucky fans can win include LG TVs, GeForce RTX 5080 GPUs, and this SteelSeries Arctis Nova 5X wireless headset. So,
yeah, Hotshot, I don't want to talk over it, though. I think it makes more sense to do, like, brief pauses with commentary. Basically, you want to trigger as many transformative touchstones as you possibly can. I think they're clearly coming to an end here, so let's sort of shift gears. Let me get you guys a link, and you guys on Twitch don't need to do anything, but let me get you guys a link, and we will transition into a GTA 6 Netflix extended look waiting room. I want to make sure we're kind of like in the funnel and meeting new people. All right, so there's your link there. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I don't think we're gonna miss much here at the tail end. They're pretty much closing out and gonna say, "Hey, see ya. Thanks for watching us here at Gamescom." So you can use the link in chat. I will also ping the Discord. Let's see here. If they show anything pertinent or cool at the Xbox Gamescom thing, I'll obviously switch to it if I feel like you guys are gonna want to watch it. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you're watching this later, it was a waiting room for the GTA 6 Netflix extended look, and they did officially announce we can do live reactions. That will be on this channel as a separate stream. But before big events, we like to hang out for a couple of hours, sometimes many hours, and just talk about our expectations while we wait for the event to happen. We may be checking out some new footage of Turok Origins here in a moment. They're sitting down at the Xbox booth at Gamescom, and we may check that out to pass the time. If you're watching this later, hit like and subscribe, and consider doing a membership to support me. That's how I do this full time, is direct viewer support. I'm going to end the previous stream and bring people over with redirect. Thank you guys so much for supporting that live stream, hanging out, watching